Agents of I.C.S. is a Monster of the Week horror podcast meant for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello there, and welcome back to Agents of I.C.S. Let us join our agents and catch up with them now. Why? Hello there.
Hello there.
What hello there?
When hello there. Dun
How
dun
hello
dun. No one ever asks how hello is there.
Cries.
Swallowing my coffee and maybe choking a little bit. Alrighty, so first and foremost, I listened to the last couple seconds of our prior session, and I don't believe I did this, so everybody, go ahead and add a 1 experience.
Wait,
Yes? You should be at 9. Margo at 8 and Jay at 5.
I am at 9.
I have an extra little screen for taking care of that. Alrighty. In terms of the last actual scene, so I will say, I do occasionally forget to hand out the end of session experience. End of session, beginning of session, we're all slightly beefier, it's okay. But, y'all decided to mess with the boy. Things went decently. We were able to nab an individual that was covered in scabs from head to toe, and remove them from the situation. Currently, Carson, assisted by your allies, now that you guys are no longer being pursued, you are carrying this individual who's just moaning in pain, but no longer resisting or really freaking out. They seem to have possibly passed out, or they're somewhere in between that state. And as you guys are moving away from Lovat Gaj and back to Gulva Hills, the smell of the cave doesn't seem to be leaving you all. In fact, it seems to be not as strong, of course, but permeating from this individual. He smells very, very strongly of the cave. Margo, that scratch on the back of your leg is starting to itch a little bit, but it's not too bad. I mean, this makes sense. Anything, realistically.
Oh, I'm sure I'm in trouble. It's fine.
Yeah. You're not sure if it's an allergic reaction or something. And Jay, you did pick up those vine deer pieces. They don't seem to be stirring or moving or exploding or turning to dust. They are holding firm. So as you guys are going back to Gulva Hills, reminder, Margo, you are currently unstable. So if you guys want to pause for a second to like wrap her wounds and whatnot, and or we're going straight back to the car, all those are viable options. But I'm letting you guys know that this boy stinks and Margo is unstable prior to you guys getting back to Gulva Hills. It was very early in the morning when you guys left, intentionally. And it is about midday, I'd say.
Margot's instincts to keep moving when danger is nearby are going to keep her walking. So if anyone wants to stop her, go right ahead.
I'll stop her.
I probably wouldn't, because I agree.
You probably would not stop her.
Yeah, I mean, if you try to stop us, then I'll stop, I guess, but I would definitely say, like, it's probably best to keep moving.
This is true, but I also am not comfortable with the thought of Margo bleeding out.
True. Do just remember, we aren't out of the woods yet, literally in this case.
Oh, you know,
Yeah, literally.
that was a good pun. I'll allow it.
Thank you.
I guess we keep moving then.
I can rest when I'm dead.
Yeah. And Carson
Okay,
is
that
currently out carrying the guns,
that
isn't it?
definitely tells me you should probably wrap that up. Anybody who says I'll sleep when I'm dead is
A workaholic?
a workaholic and has a problem.
Sorry, what'd you say, Demon?
I wish I remembered.
I'm so sorry.
Alrighty, then moving throughout the woods, do you guys choose to rest for a moment to wrap up Margo, or are we just continuing?
I think once we're... Oh, wait. Are we out of the woods?
No. So, like I mentioned, this boy is stinking up a storm. If you guys are out of the woods, you're effectively back in Gulva Hills. You know people will smell this dude from a distance. So I'll put your guys' tokens in Lovat Gaj to let you know that you're in between, effectively.
Do you mean, like, his wounds are stinking, or is it more of, like, there is something on him that's stinking?
You're not sure. From what it looks like, he is indeed covered in scabs, but you've never, I mean, obviously, seen a scab that literally covers a person's entire body, like head to toe. Only his face is skin. Everything else is scab.
I mean, I brought water. I don't know. Maybe you can.
I mean, is it like a rotting smell?
The house? Yeah, I guess it was his house, wasn't it? The cave. It smelled very much of, yes, rotting and just general stink of woods, but not the good stink of woods. So it's basically general wood stink, but bad wood stink, not like, sandalwood. Romance. It's more like
rotting, decaying corpses.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a possibility this thing rubs some of the viscera on him. You're not entirely sure, but he does indeed smell, and it's very noticeable.
I mean, I would suggest that we skirt the edge of the town and get as close to the van as we can and sneak into it real quick.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Alrighty, pushing ahead, your group indeed continues back to Galva Hills, knowing that this individual sits out like a sore thumb. By the time you return to the town, there will 100% be people in the general area, so there is a risk of being seen. How are we moving him from basically Carson to van without being seen?
Like, realistically, could I drive my van up to like the edge of the wood somewhere, even if it means walking a bit?
Oh, very much yes. You could if you wanted.
I could probably do that, I guess.
Okay, so you basically want Carson and Margo to chill.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I like tell them to go over there or something, like out of sight, and I'll drive my car up, and then we can speed off or something.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Or at least have the guy sit in the truck, so he's out of sight and out of smell.
Do you have any? Well, do you have anything? Of course you do. Do you have anything in your van that, like a coat or a blanket, you can throw over him so it's not as obvious?
Probably. I mean, I have it set up to be like the most basic as a work van, so it has like working vest and stuff like that. Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. We can say you grab something to at least help a little. It's going to look kind of odd dragging anything out of the woods and parking this close to the side. Yeah. If anyone happens,
I do think that would
watching.
look pretty suspicious.
Like, if anything, I would also say that like I have basic first aid, but nothing to actually help him, because that would be a feat or a ability, and I don't have that. So,
all right. I won't have you guys roll anything for this, but you are able to indeed get the van relatively close to the edge of the woods. After a little bit of waiting from Margo and Carson, Jay pulls on up, and you guys are able to sneak this guy in while throwing a cowl or something over him so he doesn't stand out quite as much in case there are any prying eyes. As you do lay him down in the van, he moans again in pain, but isn't moving rapidly at all. Like, you can tell he's trying not to move for very obvious reasons. Now that you've procured the goods, what next?
Well, don't worry. We'll get you to some people that can help you with whatever the hell this is. And I assume Margo is going with us because you look pretty rough yourself.
Oh, yeah. The plan was for you and me to take him and me to the hospital, and Carson would stay behind to talk to the old man.
Yeah, and also, keep Graham safe, I guess.
Oh, yeah, and the woman. I wanted you to keep an eye on that woman.
I gotta be honest with you.
With the scratched hand.
And also make sure you don't, or at least sleep in shift so you don't get ambushed by a tree again.
Ambushed.
Yeah.
Crying and laughing.
I mean, we can also just take Graham with us and go if you are more comfortable with that, but then we'll have to tell the guy to wait a few days.
I was gonna say, I don't even remember what I was supposed to ask that guy.
Which guy?
The old man?
Steven Wittenberg?
Oh, yeah. the town elder. Basically, you guys trying to chat with him, realistically?
Yeah.
I think it was more so like, hey, can you scrounge up some folklore for us? I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Same questions you guys already asked, but like rather than walking around town.
Here's my notes. He will look up old traditions unique to the area. Lovak Gaj, Hunter's Grove, named in the traditions.
Perfect. Megan will remember that.
+1.
Carson.
Carson remembers everything. Mine like a steel trap.
Megan, on the other hand, just a sifter.
So this is what notes are for. You looked at you like, Margo, what did it say? Oh, yes, wonderful. All right, so I guess we have two plans now. So are we having people stay behind? Are we all going together? What's the plan?
I'm going to tell Carson to stay behind because I really want to know about these traditions.
Yeah, I'll stay behind.
Like, if shit does go south, you can always run away.
And leave the old man to his fate?
I mean, he's lived his entire life here. Surely he won't come to harm.
Sure, you're right. I'll stay behind, yeah.
If anything, just be careful.
Alrighty, perfect.
Well, yeah.
So you'll indeed stay here, Carson. And Jay and Margo, you guys whip the van about. And where are we headed to? Straight to I.C.S? We're going to a hospital? What are we doing?
Does the I.C.S. have a hospital?
They very much do, yes. They effectively, since you work there and sometimes live there, Margo, when they need you to at least, they do indeed have every facility that you could possibly need. And of course, they will ask less questions if you come in with a gunshot. So,
all right, then yes, this is a special I.C.S. hospital case.
Yeah. I'll also make sure to put anything we brought with us, like the weird antlers, in like the special I.C.S. lockbox that I have in my van.
Perfect. Alrighty, so I will bring you two.
Sealed with a lead outlining and stuff like that, because, monsters.
It's got some spit weaved into it somehow. What kind of spit? You don't want to know. Very important, though. All right. Let us, since Jay and Margot are flying out to where they are with this individual, I would say about maybe 2-3 hours into your guys' drive, maybe you hit a bump and it stirs him in the back. So, Jay, you're driving. Margot, are you staying with the individual in the back or are you up front?
Definitely staying with him.
Okay.
See, if anything does happen while we're driving, I finally get to invoke my +1 ongoing.
Indeed. And you see him stir Margot. And looking about, he just initially looks super panicked, like, where the hell am I? He went from a cave to in this metal contraption, and you can see him starting to panic, Margot.
Hey, calm down. We're taking you to someplace safe.
All right, he hears her voice and jumps a little and winces at the pain. You can hear something tear, and he, okay. And he looks to you, and while he was sleeping, I'm not sure what this effect is called, but I believe it has a name. It's like seeing a body of like a dead person and go, wow, that's unfortunate. Or someone that's in a very, very bad way, as in they are mulched, but still alive. There's a difference between looking at someone that is still human or someone that is just meat. I know that's a really gross way of putting it, but while he was sleeping, he could have been a doll. He could have been anything, right? Now that he's moving, it's kind of hitting you, Margot, like, oh God, this dude's alive in this state. It's just a very, you know what I mean? That feeling of,
Yeah.
Not
poor unfortunate soul.
Yes, that. I don't know what the name of that feeling is, but it very much is a thing. He does calm down, though. And after he winces at the pain, he looks at you, Margot, and everything he says is just whispered. Fortunately, Jay, you're a very good driver, so any of these bumps you're hitting are against your will, or you're able to slow down just before and able to, go past them. So it's a nice, smooth ride. And he kind of mumbles, effectively asking, like, who are you? Like, where am I?
My name is Margot. You're currently in a van on the way to the hospital. What's your name?
He mumbles a few things to himself initially, and then he looks down to like where he is, and it kind of all starts taking itself in, and he nods. His eyes light up a bit when you say hospital. He says, my name is Ivan Dallas. How did you find me?
Well, bit of luck, actually. We went looking for someone else.
Yeah? Who were you looking for? How did you... he just seems completely out of it.
Do you remember how you ended up where you were?
Continuing to mumble to himself, these aren't any words, it's just blah, 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 blah. He's very clearly trying to find where he was and how he got there. And you see frustration dance across his face of like, shit, he knows he can't answer. Not because he doesn't know.
Just take it slow. Just tell me anything you remember.
Of course. Oh, I'll need a moment. Do I still have that cut? How bad is it?
Tell me where the cut is.
It's on my, I think it was on my forearm.
Did the plant look white with red stabby tips?
His eyes widen at that, and he nods.
Yeah, you still have that cut somewhere.
Oh, has it gotten worse? It scabbed over and it wouldn't stop.
Yeah, it did.
All right, but you're bringing me to the hospital, so things will be okay?
They should be. They'll take a look at you and tell you.
He smiles, which causes him a little bit of pain, but it seems genuine. And he looks like he's going to answer another question, but he just kind of, just really, really woozy, and his eyes close, and he basically just falls back asleep, kind of passes out. You can tell he's breathing, but he's just incredibly tired. And now at this point, you guys are indeed driving back to I.C.S. It'll take you some time to get there. Carson, you are now alone, or not alone, but away from your team in Galva Hills. What is your first mission? What are you doing?
Well, I guess I'm going back to, what was his name? Steven something?
Steven Wittenberg, yeah. He's, I put his token near home because he's in his home. So put him down there in the corner.
So I'm going over there to talk to that guy.
Perfect.
I guess I want to find out if he has any more information.
Alrighty. As you head on over, as seen from far away, yeah, this dude's house is quite large. I'll also let you know, Margot, you can unmark that you are unstable, because by this point you would have been able to, get a general rest, wrap yourself up, and you should be fine. You still have 5 harm, but you should not be facing any further harm.
Yeah, I'm relaxing right now in the back of this van here.
Yeah, you're able to chill out, so You're good. You're safe. As you see this massive home before you, Carson, you knock on the door and you hear someone kind of step, and then wood against wood, step, wood against wood. And after a moment, the door opens and you indeed see Stefan. He looks you over and goes, "Oh, well, good afternoon to you. Where are your friends?"
They're just working on some other stuff, so I figured I'd come here on my own.
Oh, perfect. Well, I guess you'll get first dibs on what I've prepared, and I guess you can show off to them, and let me know what you do and don't like, and we'll adjust it for next time. But do, please, come on in.
I walk on in.
His home is very old, but clean. Rustic, he seems to be just a kind of a collector of just stuff. There's just a lot of things here. There are various animal heads on the walls. You can tell the guy probably has somewhat of a sense of humor because there's a jackalope. Of course, there's a jackalope. One or two just kind of sit on the wall, and some of the animals have kind of goofy faces. And he kind of looks at them and goes, just kind of, "Yeah, you mentioned you were looking for strange beasts," and he points to one of the jackalopes. So something along those lines.
Sorry, what was that?
Do you know what a jackalope is?
Isn't it that like rabbit with the antlers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he points at when he has stuff on the wall, and he basically asks, "Is that what you're looking for?"
It wasn't quite what I was looking for, but it's not what I'm looking for, you know?
No, fair enough. Please do come this way. And he leads you on over to the kitchen. You see that he indeed had enough plates set for everybody. But he motions for you to sit to the closest one next to him. He takes a sit down, and he kind of waves over for one of his maids to swing by and begin serving things. And as he sits, he has actually a couple books prepared next to this very large wooden table. It's like a dark oak. And he kind of motions to you and says, "Well, I do believe you had some questions and such. I haven't had too much time to crack open the old books and look into the library, but I'll answer what I can."
Well, does he have any new information?
About what in particular?
Just stuff around the local folklore.
Local folklore. Well, we definitely do have some interesting stories, but as I mentioned before, I don't quite know the three of you too closely, so you'll have to, promise to me again that, if I tell you anything, you won't go blowing it out of proportion, yes?
No, I would never do that.
Of course. This place is more so meant as a relaxation, not somewhere people go to hunt ghosts and such, or boogeymen, things of that nature. So, if I tell you anything, please don't blow it up into something that it's not, yes?
Okay, you got it, buddy.
Oh, wonderful. And he slowly turns and waves to his maid. She places on tea for the two of you, takes a sip, and just smiles at it. And just, seems very, very nice and comfortable. And he whips open the book and slowly begins to turn the pages. And he says, "Remind me, were you looking for more things or like ghosts, apparitions, or just anything?"
Not really ghosts or apparitions. More like physical beings.
Oh.
Maybe stuff with plants.
Like Wendigos.
Interesting.
Not the word. Don't speak it aloud.
The Skinwalkers.
Don't speak its name.
Don't speak its name.
So he thinks a bit. Turns through a couple.
Like
turns through a couple pages, and he kind of turns one of the books to you and points, and you see one image of what seems to be maybe like a werewolf, possibly. It's a wolf standing on two legs. That's far too muscular. There are some images as he kind of turns. Pages.
He's so handsome.
Some dancing light. Yeah, he's like posed, like, oh, sexy. Some dancing lights and things of that nature, will-o-wisps. And he does mention that, there have been visions of ghosts and such, maybe people that have passed, as this town has been here for quite some time. So our village definitely would have seen, definitely. But no malicious ghosts or anything. Just grandmothers and grandfathers and maybe children that, fell into a creek or something. But no one malicious. And he definitely specifies nothing malicious. Like if there is a werewolf or something along those lines, none of us in my generation have seen it. These are like long ancient stories.
So nothing nothing that would stand out to me.
From what you're looking at, Carson, a lot of these seem fairly basic. You know, your average individual would probably be like, I don't even believe in ghosts or anything, so you wouldn't get an answer at all. He is giving you an answer, but it's a very like boilerplate answer. Like, yeah, werewolves and like will-o-wisps and ghosts. It's like, yeah, okay. Anything else?
It?
Yeah, I mean,
so nothing unique to that place, basically.
Nothing unique, no, nothing crazy weird.
That's bizarre.
Wait, so he had nothing about like the Hunter's Grove?
Besides seeing, lights and maybe a ghost or two? No?
I mean, that's weird in itself. Usually towns like that have like their own unique story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's something that affects everybody's brain, like the same way that what's their face.
Or maybe he's hiding it.
Wait, what?
Or maybe he's hiding it. He's in on it.
Did I?
It's ominous.
Well, I guess I want to know, do I feel like he has something that he's just not saying? Because I feel like him saying don't blow it out of proportion is a little weird, considering that he's just talking about stuff that like literally every place has.
Yes. While you're speaking with him, he's almost being a little too reassuring. After he says, oh, there's ghosts, he is very sure to clarify, they're not the bad kind, though. These are nice ghosts. They're, it's a spooky encounter, but that's it. Not a big deal whatsoever. He doesn't mention it too many times, but the way that he does mention it very much sounds as if he doesn't want to damage the reputation of this town.
The reputation of the town?
Yeah, he wants to make it seem safe.
Is there anything I could do to
sweet talk him into trusting you?
Sweet talk him into trusting me a little bit?
In a sense that you
just manipulate him. I mean, persuade.
Yeah, in the sense that you want him to tell you what exactly.
I want him to let slip something, because I feel like he's hiding it.
Okay, roll me convince, and we'll see where that brings you. Because all the information you've received prior hasn't required a roll. He's been an open book. Hasn't fought back at all.
Damn.
All right, no, that's good. That's a 7 is good. Basically, when you roll to manipulate someone or convince, they'll effectively do a thing for you, but you have to give them a good reason or trade them something. So what precisely are you asking him, and then what are you offering in return for this answer? Because you're looking for him to slip up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you effectively realize that you might be able to get him to slip up, but you'll have to tip your hand in some way, shape, or form to get him to do so. How would you like to do that? He seems pleasant, but very much, if this makes any sense, an opened, closed book.
Could I maybe mention some of the things that I've seen? Just like kind of casually.
By things, do you mean things that you've seen here or in general?
Here.
Okay. Well, what do you bring up? Do you bring up like the plant? Do you bring up the thing itself?
Maybe the creatures. Yeah.
Okay. What do you describe?
Be specifically or overly detailed about the creature.
Yeah. Well, when you bring up the creature, like, well, what parts do you choose to describe? What parts do you not describe?
Well, I don't describe all the people in the cave. That's for sure.
Okay. I mean, we didn't go to the cave, right? Wink.
Wink. We didn't go there. Gosh, I don't know.
It was basically a centaur covered in...
Something that makes it clear that I'm looking for something in particular.
I guess I'm essentially asking, are you leaving any of that information out? You don't have to go into like super crazy detail, but are you choosing to not reveal anything to keep it close to your chest?
I think I'm gonna go ahead and reveal some of it.
Okay.
And make it clear that that I know something.
Okay. When you say this, he's still turning the pages and like, oh, this is scary. And you describe this being. Did you say that you saw it here, or you've heard rumors? How are you giving him this information?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't go into the cave, so surely we haven't seen it here, right?
Yeah, because technically you saw it roaming in the woods, maybe, possibly, you're not sure.
Oh my gosh, what would be better, really? I mean...
Whichever one you choose, he will, still give you an answer, so it just depends on how you want to throw it at him.
I mean, you did say casually, so...
Yeah.
So you've never heard of a creature that looks like this?
Yeah. I guess I could do that and make it sound more like a...
Try? No, she didn't, right? No.
No, you guys were. It was a very, very quick on and off conversation.
Fighting for our lives, yeah.
Yeah. So as you quickly describe it, he pauses mid-turn as he's trying to show you something, and you realize he's kind of gotten off the beaten path, and he's like showing you the town's history and such.
Mm-hmm.
And as you bring this thing up, he pauses and looks at you. He goes, "I'm sorry, what?"
I repeat the information.
The maid is coming in the room, and you can hear her plate kind of stop for a second as he like looks at her and says, "Oh, come on, put the cakes down." And she does, and he waves her off like, "All right, stop snooping." And he looks at you and says, "Where did you hear this information from?"
Guess I'll say that I didn't hear it from anywhere. It's something that I saw.
You saw it personally? Where, might I ask?
Well, I've already showed my hand. I don't need to give more information now.
Okay, are you kind of playing coy with him now?
Yeah.
All right, and he smirks that a little and says, "All right, fair enough. Well, yes, one might say I've heard of a creature of this description, but it is, I'd like to say, an old wives' tale, something you needn't worry about. And, like you promised before, this is something I'd prefer you keep to yourself. Please don't ask the kind folk of this village about such a disturbing-looking entity, yes?"
No problem. I could keep that to myself if you give me something to work with.
We would prefer that. When you say keep to yourself and work with, what do you mean precisely?
We're trying to find somebody.
He nods.
And that's all we want to do. And I know that this is connected.
You have a description of this individual?
I give a vague description of Finn.
Okay. He thinks a bit.
I say it kind of loosely because I don't know if, obviously everybody's forgotten him.
Yeah, and as you describe him, the look he gives you, he's legitimately thinking, and he, obviously, you're not surprised. He can't come up with no, nothing. I've never seen someone like that. Do you mention that he came with Graham, or are you just mentioning Finn?
I'm just going to mention Finn.
Okay. Upon mentioning, Finn, Stefan has no idea. Legitimately has no idea. And he says, "What, do you think this creature ate the boy? Obviously, he wasn't someone part of the village. You must have been a traveler, such as yourself."
Well, I don't know if he got eaten. I don't know that for sure.
Well, you've traveled all this way looking for him.
That would imply he's a missing person, not that he's dead.
Fair enough. If he's a missing person, though, well, how long's he been missing? If he's in the woods, one would assume he might have expired by this point. If he's missing because of our town, that sounds closer to an accusation.
I'm not looking for accusations. I'm looking for answers.
Fair enough.
And I think that you have them.
Well,
at least some of them.
I'm afraid I might have to disappoint you in that I have no idea who this child may be, but I do promise you, Carson, I will indeed keep an eye out for this Finn individual. This thing that you've described, though, I would prefer you not look into it any further. While it is not written down anywhere, me, my family, we are somewhat aware of this entity. It has gone by various names and such, and there are some hunters and people that believe they've seen a man or an entity that contains many faces, unable to fully describe it. It can drive folk mad just looking at it, from what I've been told. And I will be incredibly blunt and honest with you. Rumors like these won't do good for our little village. We're somewhat in the middle of nowhere, and I'm sure you can tell as our inn isn't exactly bustling with business at the current time. We're not doing so well in terms of folks such as yourselves coming in. We're fine, amongst ourselves, of course, but people completely cutting us off, well, it's not good for business and such.
Have you never tried to get rid of it?
Oh, look at me. And he motions to himself. He says, "How would I get rid of such a fearsome beast? I've heard rumors of it, but it sounds quite nasty, wouldn't you say? If you've seen it yourself, don't tell me it didn't send shivers down your spine."
It was pretty nasty. That's a good word I'd use.
Yes, indeed. I mean, someone as old as myself, there's no way I could contend with such a creature.
Nothing in your oral history that could help me out?
He takes a second to answer and then shakes his head. No, nothing that I can think of. like I mentioned, the story of this beast was passed down from my father and his father, and essentially just to steer clear of it, if one were to see it, of course.
Tell me everything you know.
Oh, it isn't very much, but I will indeed try my best. Its form varies. Some people say it walks on 2 legs, some say on 4, others mistake it for an elk, a deer of some variety. It ends up turning to them with the face of a human, or something along those lines. We found, allegedly, in the past, of course, people passed out in the local forest, and they were brought back in, but nothing of recent, of course. All I know is it's best to avoid it. The unfortunate main thing I know about it is people do indeed faint merely at the sight of it, so as I'm sure you're aware, we don't have much info. It's not something I'd want to see in its entirety. I might have seen it when I was younger, but, you know, children, we play silly games and make up silly stories.
All right. Guess, I mean, is there anything that he can tell me about the habits?
Sorry,
He doesn't know even how it like got there though, right? It's just something that's been there for a very long time.
Correct. As he's talking, you can definitely tell his playful demeanor has calmed down a bit. He's being a little more analytical now, and he's hesitant in his speech, very clearly hesitant in his speech, especially when you asked him how much more do you know, or do you have anything written down. He, like I said, he paused and then decided to answer. But everything he's saying is effectively, it was in the past, if I saw it as a child, who knows if I actually saw it, but no one has seen it since then, we've had no issue since then, and this is an entity of the past, if it's still roaming about, blah, 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 and he definitely stresses, please don't talk about this thing. He doesn't want to drum up a scare, he doesn't want the wrong individuals walking around town and walking around the village and, you know, trying to hunt some, like, you know, beast, some animal, some monster in the woods.
I mean, I'm not gonna try getting monster hunters in here. That's not.
Oh yeah, but
that's not conducive to.
Yeah, he doesn't know you though. He doesn't know your business, so he's not sure if you're gonna write about it, if you're some hunter of some variety. So he doesn't know what your business here is. Besides, you guys are here on alleged vacation, and he's not being cold to you. He's just delivering the information in a very cold way.
Right. All right. Well. I mean, is there anything else that I could get from him that might be helpful?
Not that he would willingly give, and you can feel that what he's told you is probably the limit of what he's going to tell you today.
All right. I'm gonna...
What if you told him that you rescued someone?
Who had contact with it?
Yeah. Maybe, I mean, would trying to scare tactic
get him
work?
To open up?
Yeah, would trying to scare tactic work?
Yeah.
I mean,
I definitely have a feeling that we'll be going back to this guy once we return anyway.
That's fair.
Do you want me to bring it up, though? Or should we wait?
I mean, would Carson bring it up? Is he the kind to do, like, low-key threaten?
I don't think Carson would threaten. I think Carson views information as a give and a take. Do you know what I mean?
In that case, let's wait till we're back and I will show him my growing scab and I'll get real angry at him for you.
I don't know if that's going to be a good idea, but sure.
And we can also tell him the gruesome details about, you know, if you get scratched by this guy, you will disappear, literally, and no one will remember you. And that makes you complicit.
Sounds good to me.
Also, I will say, for you, Carson, specifically, since that's more of your vibe to not threaten, you very much get a feeling from Stefan that if you were to push this too far, so far, he's not neutral with you. He's still friendly, as if, okay, I understand, you've heard rumors, but you get the feeling if you push him too much further, you'll piss him off. He's like right on that edge, and you can definitely feel that.
All right, I'm not going to push it then. I'm going to thank him for his information, and I'll be on my way.
Okay. He genuinely smiles at that. Tells you to stay safe, and if your friends would like to come by later, says he did promise them tea, coffee, you know, whatever you guys like, drinks. My doors are still open for you guys. Just let me know.
Sounds good.
All right, and with that, he chooses to stay seated, and then the maid actually shows you to the door. All right,
then.
You are indeed back in the town, and you effectively tell me where you'd like to go next, so you can prepare that, and I'll cut back to Margot and Jay. Are you going to go talk to Graham, or...
And Margot and Jay are at the
when I cut back to them, they'll basically be at I.C.S. It's going to be like a half day's drive to get there, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll go back to Graham.
Okay, so go ahead and think of what you want to ask him and whatnot. I'll let you know when you arrive at Season's Comfort, just to give you a general vibe check, that Graham is not in Maya's room. He's like kind of pacing outside it and or in the cafeteria area, but he's not in there with her. He's keeping an eye. She has not left. So knowing that information, he doesn't seem too panicked, but he doesn't seem, he seems a little worried that you guys took a while to get back. But other than that, and maybe the fact that he just sees you, Carson. So you can take that information as you will. We'll cut back to Jay and Margot. After some time, Margot, Ivan wakes, falls back into a sleep, wakes, falls back into a sleep multiple times. You guys eventually do arrive at I.C.S., and there is indeed an area for you guys to, park this van completely out of sight of any looky-loos, so you're able to get Ivan into the facilities without any issues. Margot, you know precisely where you're going, as I'm sure you've run into a few sharp-fanged and clawed entities to your time.
Oh, guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Fortunately, your fang is sharper, so you're alive and they aren't. Alrighty. And after they kind of wheel him in, they give you guys a look of like, oh, Lord, where'd you find this one?
You wouldn't believe us if we told you, honestly.
No, this is I.C.S. They probably would.
Oh, that's true. In that case, the guy was healing from a cave ceiling.
Yeah. And I think I've been infected with whatever dragged him there.
All right.
Speaking of, I'll take the box out. There you go, some samples for you guys.
Perfect. They seem very happy that you guys have swung by. And as they're kind of setting all this stuff up, they take the sample, they have it all organized. Basically, we'll bring you guys into like wing 4, effectively. And in wing 4, they'll be looking at this horn, this whatever it is, along with Ivan in a more intensive care. And Margot, they're kind of just looking at you and stitching you up and whatnot, trying to figure out what's wrong. The cut wasn't too deep, it's bleeding a little, but you're able to wrap it easily. The rest of you, you're just bruised up. Your clothes are cut. You got some mud on you. You were mostly roughed up, mostly bludgeoning damage, if you will. So you got some bruises, maybe some bruised bone or two. But other than that, you aren't in pieces. Yeah, so good job. And Jay, you're doing good. It's going to be obviously some time of them looking over this individual, and then they're going to look to you next, Margot. As a general reminder, I.C.S. is always busy. They never have enough people for obvious reasons. Either they're lost in the field or we cannot trust people with this information. Regardless, they're able to, get you fixed up, and they take a quick look at Jay. He really has no issues. They will, of course, let you know, Margot, you need to monitor this cut if you think it came from the same thing as what affected this boy. You let them know the name.
Oh, they don't need to tell me that.
Yeah, of course.
By the way, I figure I probably drew a picture of the creature on the way here.
Yeah, sure. And you can share that information with them. They try looking into it, and it'll take them a bit, but there isn't an instant answer, of course. So,
and also look up Ivan Dallas, if he's the same case as Finn.
No, this person does indeed exist, but it looks as if he was probably born not in this area, like a state over, and his records don't cut off. But understandably, if you live in a reclusive village, there's no way to get more records on you, really, except for a general what's it called? The consensus, the census, right?
Or population?
Yeah, population census.
Census, yeah.
Yeah, the census. So the only reason they really know he still exists is because a census is aware that this is a travel destination. They aren't like a cult. They're living in the woods and that's to say, stay away from us. Let us just breed and feed. So that's not the situation. People know Galva Hills exists. But there isn't much information on him. There still is, though.
How long has he been missing?
Missing?
Or is he not even marked as missing?
No, he's not marked as missing. The last time
that's alarming.
Yeah, the last time his census was taken, he was indeed a resident of Galva Hills. And I say that was... when is the census? At the beginning of the year, we'll say, to make things easy. To make things nice and simple. Right now is early October, so I would say, yeah, at any time between January and now.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm asking if there are any police reports filed on him.
No police reports. Mainly because, there's no police up there. But he was 100% a resident of Galva Hills, at least in January of this year.
We can ask Stefan that when we go back.
Indeed. So his records haven't been expunged, fortunately. He's indeed a person. He hasn't lived in Galva Hills for all of his life. Like I mentioned, he lived a state over as a child and moved here, we'll say in his early, in his 10s, 11, around that age, middle school. And judging by the years, you said you're in your like mid to early 20s, Margot?
Yes.
Yeah, he's about your age. He's like 22. Impossible to tell by looking at him, of course.
Yeah, I'm 23.
Yeah, okay. So you guys can spend some time here. It's entirely up to you, Margot and Jay, if you guys want to spend the night and chill here and then see by morning if Margot has changed at all or if they've discovered anything from Ivan. That's up to you guys. You know it's going to take a while for them to figure it out.
I mean, I definitely want to learn as much about Ivan as I can.
Okay, so we're basically going to stay the night?
Yeah.
Might as well, wait to get information about anything.
Perfect.
And see if we get weird dreams.
Yeah, the two of you, Jay and Margot, both of you can heal 1 as you're staying the night. Carson, you don't need to because you're doing hot. You're fine.
I'm doing good.
And Margot, like I mentioned, the cut on your leg merely itches. It's not much worse than that. During this time, though, while they're trying to figure out what's going on with this Ivan individual, he is definitely not doing so hot. He wakes up a few more times as they're trying to operate on him. They attempt to remove some of the scab. They attempt to wash off what they can of him. And they do discover, as you guessed, some of this viscera, whatever it is, was rubbed into his body or on top of him. Maybe to like, I don't know. Who knows what? Like realistically, they rituals, cult something. They have no idea. It's difficult to tell even what did it. But it wasn't just covered in scabs. But he is actually legit fully on covered. You tell him where his cut was initially, and they try to peel back some of the scabbing of that area, and it looks as if it's sprouting from like that spot. There's sort of like an indentation on his arm where you can see it begun. They try to peel back that a bit, and he freaks out a bit. And we can say while the two of you are sleeping on this night, so we'll come back to you in a second, Carson, to finish that day, but we'll finish this little bit here with I.C.S. first. You guys are able to sleep just fine. Margot, no nightmares. Jay, no nightmares. Your leg itches a bit, Margot, but that's it. Ivan, though, after they, knock him out to the best of their ability, they're hesitant to give him too many drugs of any variety because they don't know what's going on with him. Wrong thing mixes, dude's dead. Cold trail, we don't want that. At some point in the night, though, they don't wake either of you, as they assume you need your sleep. But you're relatively close by, Margot, because you're in the room next to Dallas. After you don't know how long, you awake to hear muffled screaming. And outside your door, Margot, you can hear people shuffling and shuffling and shuffling, and you hear for a moment his door opens, and the screaming gets louder for a second, and the door closes, and muffled voices quickly try to cease him from screaming and calm him down. And after maybe like a minute or two, he finally does.
Well, I'm going to get up and go find out what happened.
All right. You're able to whip around the corner. And as you do, the door is, of course, closed. You can see through the little window that they're all rushed and kind of panicked around his body, and he looks like he is indeed calmed. And they're like wiping their brows and like, oh, God. And as you open the door, you can see them talking to themselves. They all kind of turn to you, Margot. And someone's like, oh, sorry, did we wake you?
No. What happened?
He was screaming about something. It was mostly incoherent, but something about needing to go back. Where did you find him from again?
Cave.
Huh.
Filled with goo.
Oh, wonderful. He kept screaming about needing to go back. We sedated him for now, but he seemed to be adamant. He started moving and, well, they take a step back and you can see the bed he's in is seeping blood as most of his wounds have opened up. And while he is out of it, he seems to be in pain. He's kind of writhing in place. And they say, we might need to tie him down. This is somewhat problematic, but we'll get it figured out. You're feeling all right, Margot?
Yep, just a little itchy.
Good. Well, keep an eye on it. If anything happens, definitely let us know.
All right, and keep me updated on his progress.
Of course.
And you might want to tie him down now.
They're in the process of already doing so. And other than that, your night is uneventful. I will say the beds here aren't as comfy as the ones in Season's Comfort, but they function. They're used to that, Margot. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Yeah. We'll cut back quickly to Season's Comfort. It's afternoon, Carson, by the time you arrive back to speak with Graham. You see Graham pacing in the lobby of Season's Comfort as you go say, hey, what's up to him?
How's he doing? I guess if he's pacing it.
He looks a bit worried, yeah.
No, I ask him what's up.
He turns and goes, oh, Carson, shit. Oh, my God. Oh, sorry. And Eleanor looks up and she's like, hey. And he's like, sorry, my bad. Shoot, you guys are you're fine? You guys are good? Where's Margot and Jay?
They're just doing some business elsewhere.
Are they all right? Are they fine?
Yeah.
All right.
They'll live.
Oh, worrying, but you guys are professionals, so I won't push on that too much. Y'all said, I mean, obviously you didn't want me to come with. Fully get that. I'm not a fighter, but I'm assuming y'all went, head to head with this thing.
I am telling you right now, that was a boatload of stuff that I did not want to see in my entire life.
Fair enough. I don't want to be scarred either, so you can probably keep the details to yourself.
It's pretty gnarly,
I would imagine so. Speaking of gnarly, I've been looking after Maya. I don't really know her, of course, but, I'm trying to not put the moves on her, but I'm trying to calm her, be a friend. I let them know that you all were out, and you all told us to stay in her room, right?
Yeah.
Man, she does not want to stay in her room. She kept trying. I mean, I don't mind her leaving. She walked around town a little bit, but she kept pausing occasionally. We went to go get breakfast together, and Eleanor offered it, but for whatever reason, Maya wanted to eat outside. And I mean, shoot, she seemed really focused on the woods again, like she wanted to go out there. And I kept having hey, snap, girl, what's up? And then she turned to me and, oh, nothing, don't worry about it. So I don't know. She seems a little agitated, and we got into a little fight. She's like, yeah, you don't need to follow me. Like, I'm older than you. I'm an adult. I'm like, I'm aware. I'm just here to help. She seemed, not that we know her, but not like herself. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't aggro when we met her, right?
No, not at all.
She seemed a little, but she seemed to realize that maybe she wasn't sleeping. I don't know, but she charged back up to her room.
Did you happen to see was it a cut on her hand or?
Yeah, she had this on it, and she was trying to scratch at it, but I kept reminding her. I basically let her know, hey, I'm here to, be that extra pair of eyes, let you know, don't scratch it, don't touch it. And she thanked me for that, but after a while, she started getting annoyed. I don't know if she's mad at me or mad that it itched.
Yeah, it could be really any number of things.
Yeah, she charged up to her room at I don't know, 9-ish, and it's 2, so she's been up there for a while.
Something about this. I'm gonna go up to her room and see if she's still in there.
Yeah, want me to come with her? Chill down here.
How about you do come with me? But maybe stay out of sight.
Yeah, sure. I'll be around the corner, next to the door. Not looking creepy, just kind of hanging. Yeah, I got you. And
yeah, totally not creepy at all. Definitely not.
Yeah, two dudes. Hey, listen.
Hey, listen.
Hey, how you doing?
I heard there's a girl alone in the room.
I know, right? Show us your hand. Not weird.
Creepy.
I know, right? So yeah, Graham, he chills two doors down-ish, so he's not super close. And as you kind of head up and knock on the door, you hear someone startle on the inside, but she doesn't answer.
I'm like, Maya, it's Carson. Just checking in on you.
After definitely too long a wait, you go out to call again or knock, and she answers right before you do, and she's nearby the door. You just hear a whisper going, "What do you want?"
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. What?
Sure you're fine? You're looking a little antsy.
You don't see her. She has the door closed. She's talking through it.
Oh, think you could open the door, Maya?
Again, she pauses for a little too long. You hear it unlock, and she cracks it, and you can just see her face. And
how's she look?
Tired, a little annoyed, but she looks you up and down and says, "Are your friends here? Or is it just you?"
Well, right now it's just me, I guess.
All right. Well,
you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I guess I'm a little hungry. It's 2 now, so should probably grab something to eat.
I mean, do you want me to get something for you?
Yeah, sure. A sandwich or something would be fine.
Yeah, I can do that.
Cool.
You seem like you're acting a little funny. I don't know if it's just me thinking that, or are you nervous?
Probably just nervous. Yeah, tired. I got this weird thing on my hand, so. And she smiles.
How's that doing?
It seems tired. It's a very tired smile. When you ask how that's doing, you notice that hand is behind her back, and she goes, "Oh, it's fine."
Could I see it?
I mean, no, not right now, at least.
Is it uncovered?
No, I recovered it.
You recovered it?
Yeah.
So it was uncovered?
For a moment, yeah.
Have you scratched at it?
The look she gives you is both shame and anger, and she just nods.
All right, Maya. I'm gonna go get you a sandwich, and I'm gonna come back up here, and I'm gonna have to keep an eye on you.
She doesn't seem to protest, And she just nods at the sandwich and then slowly closes the door. She doesn't seem annoyed. She indeed just seems tired.
Okay. I go get her a sandwich.
Yeah, you're able to head down. Eleanor whips you up a quick sandwich, and like everything else, homemade, nice, well put together. She whips that up for you, and
I also get a grandma sandwich.
Sure. Yeah, actually, as you hand it to him, he's like, "Oh shit, I haven't eaten either. Damn," because he's been like, you can tell he was definitely watching to like, is she gonna come out? As you head on in, he jokes that he actually whipped around the back to see if she climbed out the window, but she didn't. He was worried.
I know you're kind of joking. Definitely keep an eye out.
Yeah, smart.
Okay.
I know it seems a little ridiculous, but genuinely, keep an eye out.
All right, he laughs and nods at that, and kind of takes a space near the door of the building of Season's Comfort without looking too weird. He's just sitting in one of the little chairs. He's just chilling, reading some old ass paper. And at first he looks bored, like, what the shit? Like, what is this? And he's like, oh damn, this is like from the 70s. This is super old. And he's like, oh, it's actually kind of interesting. So he starts actually playing with that while you're doing your thing. But he's clearly still paying attention. Like if he hears anything outside, he'll jump. And as you head back up, Eleanor, wishes you luck with whatever's going on. She's been watching. She can tell there's some tension, but whatever. Just don't be loud. As you head on up, you knock, and she answers the door faster this time. She locked it again, but she unlocks it and then opens it and takes a step back.
To let me in?
Yeah.
All right, well, I hand her the sandwich first of all.
She kind of moves back to the door and takes the sandwich with her left hand, which her right hand was the one that was cut. And she
makes me nervous.
She looks at it.
Funny.
Yeah, and her hands in her pocket. She's wearing like jammies, just like real loose pants at this point. She probably changed back into them.
I'm actually just gonna lean against the door frame for a little bit.
Okay. She is looking at you and says, "Were we eating together or?"
No, I'm just here to keep an eye on you. That's all. Until my friends get back.
Can Carson eat after what he witnessed?
No, he's feeling pretty gross. His appetite is shot for the next day, but that's none of her business. She doesn't know that.
So you really want to see her hand, right?
Yeah.
All right, roll me convince to see if she'll whip that bad boy out. You've been asking nicely, so. Ooh, nice, full success. Okay. With a 12, she really thinks about it, looks at the sandwich, and looks at you, and you seem genuine. You guys aren't barreling down her door. It's not you and the team. It's just one person. She nods along and says, "All right, don't get angry. All right, I know you told me not to scratch it."
Yeah, I suspect it might not be entirely under your control, but let me look at it.
She puts the sandwich down next to a small table, and after sighing, she pulls her hand out, and she's wearing a glove now, like a full-on glove. But it's not meant to be for what it's for, and you can very clearly see there's blood seeping through it. And she kind of peels the glove off, and you see what would have been the scab that was kind of on the back of her hand has grown, and it's starting to grow up her fingers.
Oh man.
And she looks at it just grotesquely and shoves it. Well, she goes to shove it back in her pocket and realizes it's exposed, so she can't. And she's like,
Yeah, let me put some new band-aids on that for you.
After sighing, she's like, I'm right-handed. I'm basically useless with this hand, so thank you. I appreciate it. And she grabs the first aid stuff for you. She has it ready. She just can't use it properly. And after handing it to you, you're kind of wrapping her up, and she's looking away. Just mostly, she wants to eat, so looking at that's not going to help.
Yeah.
She looks super annoyed. But from how Graham described her, she's more calmed down now.
So she's annoyed.
She's annoyed, but calm annoyed. Not like she's mad at you, like she's mad at herself.
Yeah. I guess I finished wrapping up the hand.
And she flexes a bit to make sure it's good, and she, thanks you.
I do think I'm gonna say you should wear the glove anyway.
I have a bigger one that will fit. I'll go nab that one.
Okay. That's not looking too good.
No, I don't know what the hell will be causing this. This doesn't make any sense. I'm not stupid. This isn't. Scabs don't spread like that.
Yeah, they don't. That's pretty freaking weird. In case you have not yet gathered, something funny's happening.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I'm
not going to bother showing it to the doctor again. He's not going to say anything.
Yeah, I'm feeling kind of funny also about the locals. Well, that's just me.
Should I be worried?
No, we're here. Me and my team are here. I don't think you need to worry about the locals or that. Just we're here to keep an eye on you.
Okay, she looks reassured.
Can you describe to me like the sensation of that, like needing to scratch that cut? Is it like different to anything else you've experienced, or is it just weird?
She nods at that and essentially lets you know it's the reason she's so annoyed is because it feels as if it's out of her control. If she isn't doing anything with her hands, or if the hand isn't covered by something, she can not even feel her left hand going to scratch at the right hand, or sometimes if the left hand is busy and the right hand is not, she'll like scratch it up against like a table or something. And she said that happened multiple times, and she lets you know that happened while she was out eating with Graham, which is probably why she snapped at him. If you could apologize, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
But she was picking at it like while they're eating, and it grossed her out and just kind of pissed her off, so she just stormed back up here. But there's like an annoyed, like, I was bit by a mosquito itch, and oh, it feels so good to scratch it. She doesn't even know she's doing it, and she keeps catching herself, but she's been catching herself less frequently.
So it's like something like the scratch is being compelled to touch, but she doesn't even notice that it's happening until it's already.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
A sentient scab.
That is pretty disgusting. The many-faced sentient
Wants to grow.
Sentient scab. I know that this is definitely like not a comfortable experience. But I would like it if somebody would stay with you and keep an eye on you until we have it all figured out. If you're okay with that.
Yeah, that should be fine. My buddy that I came with, he had to go back early. I work and all that, so I'm currently here alone, but I can handle myself. It's just, I can handle myself against normal things. This is very clearly abnormal. I don't understand it. It's really starting to piss me off. And she's kind of looking at her hand like, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that tracks, really, about the whole situation.
She agrees and says, if Graham wants to hang out with me more, that's fine. She wasn't annoyed. I mean, maybe she said he's a little too chipper for how annoyed I am, and like...
He is very chipper. I really admire that. I'm not so optimistic, but, love that for him.
Hopefully some will rub off on me, because it'll be fine. It'll definitely be fine at some point.
All right, well, I'll text Graham to let him know that she apologized.
Text shouldn't work, right?
She means text with her mouth. His mouth.
On that note, is this the same day or the next day?
For them, it's the same day.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, effectively, Carson, I guess to now fast forward, you let Graham know that, Maya's cool with them hanging out. She does let you know, though, that she wants to spend the rest of the day just kind of here, relaxing, trying to figure out, like, she's going to try to focus on not scratching and just chill. Uh-huh. So she thanks you for the sandwich. She wants to be alone, but not in a, like, piss off kind of way.
That sounds good. Keep me updated.
Yeah, like a real chill way. If she needs y'all, you guys prove to be good people, so she'll let y'all know. Basically, she said if Graham wants to swing by again to hang out, she said that's okay. If someone needs to keep an eye on me, if it's not one of you three, he can. Let him know to come by tomorrow. So, effectively, for the rest of the day, Carson, do you do anything, or you kind of just hang around town?
I'm just hanging around.
Okay, that works. And by that point, you have nothing you need to heal. So you and Graham get good sleep, no nightmares, no dreams, Perfect. Nothing of that nature. And the next day fully rolls around. We'll cut back to I.C.S. with Jay and Margot. And by the morning, Ivan has not woken up again and freaked out. But they are definitely worried about his general state.
Can I assume that they tested the scabs for maybe substance, unfamiliar substances that don't belong in the bloodstream?
Not necessarily that, but definitely
magic.
Yeah, so unfortunately they can't like detect magic, but they detected other forms of DNA that weren't his. The parts
substances.
Yeah.
Human DNA or animal DNA?
both human and animal DNA. It was rubbed on his scabs. This was part what was rubbed off. It's old, though, so it's really hard to track any of it. They can try if you want. It'll just take them some time.
I mean, yeah, track it.
Okay, they can most definitely try.
So how's my leg looking?
You wake up, and there is indeed, where you were scratched, a tiny little scab just along the cut.
Excellent.
Is this itching you're feeling like the kind of itch like it is, like there's something there, or like there's something underneath?
For Margot, it's just kind of like a tingly itch, almost like, not like it's infected or anything, but kind of like she's being tickled, just slightly. Like an annoyed little itch. Not too bad.
Well, I will intentionally wrap it up so that I don't scratch it because I know better.
Perfect.
And then I'm sure this resort has a landline, so I will call.
Okay, who are you calling?
To Carson.
What are you texting to Carson?
Calling landline,
Sorry.
No cell phone signal.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm a modern boy.
It's obviously the main office, and I'm sure they'll patch me through.
All right, you are indeed able to call Season's Comfort. They do have a landline.
Perfect.
All right. So how'd it go?
Well, there's only a little bit of local lore that matches what we know.
Only a little? That's strange.
Well, he said it's never been written down. It's only passed through his family, really, through oral tradition.
Always sus.
Is that sus?
Yes.
Kind of.
One family with an oral tradition?
Yeah.
Or maybe, written traditions disappear.
Yeah, I mean, they're either protecting something or protecting everyone from something.
Yeah, I mean, he's really worried about the
image of his town.
The image of the town more than anything else, it seems like, because it's such a small village that if there's any bad press that gets out, the economy just gonna tank, I guess.
Well, they're not much of a resort to begin with, so that seems kind of dumb.
He did share some information with me, but I got the vibe that he was hitting his limit for the day, and I didn't want to push. So we might have to go back at another time. Either way, whatever it is not going to be in the local lore, quote unquote. Except maybe through that guy. He didn't recognize Finn, but he also, as he said that if he has seen the creature, he's forgotten it.
I don't think that's something I can ever forget seeing, honestly.
Yeah, me either. Oh, so who really knows? And then I went in to check on Maya.
Oh, good. I was just going to ask about her.
Something funny is going on with that scratch, which I think
I'm going to send an I.C.S. agent to come pick her up.
Just for you to watch out, since I know that you have a cut.
Yes, and it's scabby.
Yeah, it seems like she is scratching it without even knowing that she's scratching. And through that, it is getting larger. So I think that you'll need somebody to watch you. To make sure you're not scratching it.
I assume you're here with me, Jay?
Probably.
I will look at you. Well, Jay's the only one who's going to do that, so all right.
Keep an eye out, Jay.
Well, I can't have an eye on a 24/7. It's probably easier if we, I don't know, make a cast around your foot or something.
I mean, it's already wrapped up. I can wrap it more.
Yeah, I mean, something more solid.
Something that would need
We're in a hospital.
Somebody else to take it off, I think, is what you need.
Yeah, but I'm going to need to check on it every now and then, so it needs to be semi-removable.
Yeah, think of like a cone of shame except for your leg or something. I'm sure there's someone in the hospital that has something like that.
Definitely.
Sounds good. That said, let me let Maya know that we're going to have someone come pick her up.
All right. Do you need a reason?
Do I need a reason?
We did tell her about
to talk her into it.
I mean, she seems like she trusts me. Maybe
all right.
Well, what would the reason you have be? What would your silly little excuse be?
I think we told her that we're like flora experts or something looking for like a highly allergic plant species, right?
Yeah.
She definitely thinks she's definitely aware that something weird is going on.
Yeah, let's
I don't
just
think
say
that
it's
we
unusual, and we need more unfortunate victims. You can use a different word, of course.
We need more unfortunate victims.
I'm
More
an
test
unfortunate victim
subjects.
too.
Just tell her it's an alien conspiracy or something.
I did not get that impression from her.
I don't think she's a conspiracy theorist, but you can never tell these days. They're hidden in plain sight. Those conspiracy theorists.
True.
You think the moon is real?
You think the Earth is real?
Whoa, that's
Bold.
too far.
Non-existent Earth theory.
My favorite.
We're all in the Matrix anyway.
It's all a simulation.
Yeah, but the Matrix is still on Earth.
That's not how that works, Melanie.
I mean,
Margot,
the Matrix is Earth.
sorry.
You say so.
Yeah, the book was better anyway.
Should always try out conspiracy theory, somebody.
Yeah.
The moon landing was real? No. The moon isn't real. Love it.
Space isn't real.
He's crazy that you believe in that.
What a weirdo.
Everyone know the Earth ends at the clouds.
Exactly.
That's it. All right, I guess I'll go talk to Maya in a little bit.
Okay.
Give her a break from me.
And effectively, your justification is because we're like floral experts, we know that we found someone that can look at it, basically?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay. This is, while trustable, it's still a very extreme. You did just meet her after all.
Yes, but we're not sure what it could be, and we need to make sure that nothing bad happens to her.
Of course. So regarding this request, Carson, are you going to make it by yourself or wait for your team to come back so they can maybe back up, assist you asking?
Yeah, she can wait for the expert. I'm sure the expert has charm in spades.
Do you have charm in spades?
No, that's why I'm sending an expert.
I am negative charm.
Oh my god.
Well, the expert would either be Margot or Jay, so.
Oh, you want me? I thought I was going to send some scrub.
No, you are. What I'm saying is NPCs don't roll. So do you want Carson to roll by themselves? Or you want me there to help out?
Oh, yeah, I would like to help out.
Okay, yeah, that's effectively what I'm asking.
I mean, you could use some more days of downtime anyway, honestly.
Yeah, you can also ask over the phone. Realistically, it's totally up to you.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
Ask over the phone?
Yeah, like you can basically, if you want, say, Carson to May, like, hey, I found someone that can help, blah, blah, blah. If you happen to fail your role, Carson, you can say, well, I got Margot on the phone here. She could help alleviate your, etc. And then.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
I have now been scratched. I'm going through the same thing.
Yeah, so Eleanor can hold the phone for you, Carson. And that's probably, a reasonable time. You ask Maya.
Scare buddies.
Exactly. You basically tell Maya, hey, I got good news, and everything you told her. So go ahead and, third time's a charm, roll me, convince. We got a partial success, we got a full success, and back to a partial success. So, Margot.
My help out would help, right?
Yes, your help out would bring it to an 11.
Help me out, you bitch.
I'm looking for it.
Well.
You make it worse. At least you can experience.
You're not wrong. Margot, go ahead and
You're helping out saying, I have it too, doesn't help.
I am speechless.
Alrighty. So you see, Maya, that Margot doesn't necessarily flub it necessarily, but she hears that Margot has it too and kind of goes, all right. And while she does trust you guys, because you guys have opened a solid rapport with her, she in general just seems concerned. So this is still a mixed success. It's still a 9. Obviously, Margot mark experience. So you didn't fail, Carson. Still mixed. You'll have to give her a good reason or trade her something in order for her to want to do this, or she's just going to flat out say, no, I'll stay here.
Well, what can I trade her that'll make her think it's a good idea?
If you guys want to come up with something, you can. Otherwise, her general deal will be effectively, while I trust you guys, this is going to have to be somewhere like in the open, somewhere obvious. So not.
She doesn't want to get kidnapped?
Correct, obviously.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
So not I.C.S. It'll be somewhere she recommends-ish, maybe like a clinic that she knows, and I.C.S. could probably sneak a person in there. But basically somewhere that she wants to be under, her watch, her rules. While she does trust you, there's some weirdos out there, and it's not that she doesn't trust Carson. Maybe the specialist she doesn't trust. Who knows? But basically, if she wants to peace out, she can peace out.
Oh, that's absolutely fine. I have no trouble with that.
That is actually not fine.
Not fine?
Our scab guy wanted to go back to the forest. If she is half in her right mind and able to walk out on her own, that's bad.
Yeah, but that's what the crony is, right? One watching her.
Yeah, but if we force her to stay, if she's intent to be afraid that we might lock her up, then this could get messy.
No, right. But if it gets bad enough that she literally tries to break out to get back into the forest, we are gonna have to lock her up anyway.
I should not have failed.
And at that point, I.C.S.
Look, I think that it's perfectly valid for her to want to.
It is, but I feel like it's going to backfire.
Well, you could always, send her a photo of what happened to the other guy.
True.
I mean, I feel like we have a good rapport. I don't think she'll decide that I'm trying to hurt her.
We can start with that.
And you guys know that your expert will keep a good eye on Maya, knowing that the deal is, don't be creepy. And don't chase her. If she runs, keep an eye on her for her own safety. But they'll send someone that has good bedside manner, basically.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think that this is a reasonable risk.
Yeah, I mean, we aren't locking up her in a room or anything. It's like she's going to a clinic where people will be watching her.
Exactly. So she agrees to this, Carson. A vehicle will be sent for her, basically in a day. So this is relatively early. I'd say it's about 10 or so in the morning. So you guys, Margo and Jay, you guys can stay at I.C.S. if you wish. Carson, obviously, you're still in Galva Hills, so y'all can do whatever you want. Margo and Jay, you guys can come back. You can chill. Totally up to
you. Before I leave, I would at least ask, the medics, in a case of emergency, do you think amputation would work or something like that? Getting rid of the wound itself, since it originated from there.
They'll, depending on the, so obviously Ivan is completely covered in it. Regarding Maya, if it starts spreading to a degree where they literally can't stop it, yeah, they're gonna try to amputate. That's gonna be the next option. So
I don't want to lose my leg.
I mean, they don't want you to lose your leg either. So
I can see. I mean, it's still shallow enough. I'm not going to suggest anything, but
also
cut it off before it spreads.
Truth be told, I'm better off losing a leg than an arm, so that works for me, I guess.
Yeah.
If you lose an arm.
Spread enough, you might be able to get away with just getting rid of the skin. Whereas
just pull an Evil Dead and just shove that sword in the stub.
Ew.
So okay,
that's low-key terrifying.
Also, no, I want them to test me. My area of injury.
Of course,
have them cut it open, see what happens.
Yeah.
You want them to mess with it?
Nothing too debilitating, but yeah, run some semi-hardcore tests.
Okay, so do you want to basically spend the day having I.C.S. look at it?
Yeah, I'll spend another day there.
Okay.
That's kind of creepy.
I am the perfect guinea pig now that I've been injured.
I would definitely imagine them cutting a part off and seeing if it grows back.
Alrighty, we can definitely go that route. Carson, since you're going to be in Galva Hills for effectively a whole ass day, what do you want to do? I will remind you guys that in realistically any game, you can always do a vibe check investigation of looking around town, talking to people, things of that nature. If you don't have a specific question, that's always acceptable.
Yeah, I'll do a general vibe check.
Sure. I'll have you roll that in a second, but you will be rolling Investigate a Mystery in a moment. Margo, though, you will spend the day with Jay and various professionals. They're going to pin you down, slap you, and cut your leg off. No, they're going to basically look at the wound.
It's fine. They can replace a leg with something more powerful.
Exactly, like a chainsaw. And it doesn't...
I'll take a chainsaw over a sword.
Can you use it as a movement ability then on your chainsaw?
That'll be some pretty intense mechanicaling. So
you need two chainsaws.
Give it tank treads.
Yeah. If you have two chainsaws, it's like skates, rollerblades. They just go. All right. Anyway, get off my carpet, Margo. No. Anyway, so they're able to look at your leg and kind of assess the general situation. They don't find anything that is abnormal because you only really had it for a day. No weird chemicals. You do discover that they find somewhat of a numbing. It's not a poison, but it was a numbing agent, at least. That it just barely any of it left. It was stuck in the dried blood on your leg. You did a good job cleaning it, but you mostly wrapped it to preserve the crime scene, if you will. So they found somewhat of that. But other than that, the wound seems fine. You let them know, and they're aware. It's the same as the one Ivan's got, so it's going to get pretty gnarly. But for the time being, it's a boring-ass normal scratch, Margot. Nothing special. And that's effectively going to take the day. Jay, are you doing anything, I guess, in town or in this area?
I mean, aside from suggesting them to, put a cast around her leg so she literally can't scratch it.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm curious if it will grow or disappear if it's left untouched, so I'm fine with that.
I guess I'll ask Marco if she can pull some strings or something. Or the handler.
You're looking for something to help with this case?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I can ask the handler instead. Can I get permission to look around, please?
They definitely can. First, though, because, let's see, in terms of information that you guys have, it's good, but could be better, and we'll have Carson roll first. So, Carson, go ahead and roll me Investigate a Mystery, because you guys have a landline. If Carson gets anything juicy, they can funnel this back over to you guys.
Well, it's not going to be juicy, that's for sure.
I mean, you find something.
You indeed find something. Okay. Let's see. So I have a lot of random clues I can throw your way. Let me see if there's any...
juice.
Yeah, let's see if there's anything I can throw you.
Notice that the town is in the shape of a pentagram.
Suddenly it all makes sense.
Oh, and you're in the middle of it. Oh.
All right, so there are a couple things. I can only give you one of them. Let's see. Do you want a clue regarding the town in general, or do you want a clue regarding the inn?
The inn?
Yeah.
Specifically?
Yep.
Yeah, I want that.
Okay. The first thing you notice, and this is kind of a general vibe, is this will take you basically all day. So you can easily phone back if you wish. And I'll say, Jay, your request, they can help you, but they'll need more information on what this thing is, if at all possible.
I can give them all the information.
Okay.
I can explain in detail what it looks like and how it felt.
Perfect. So, Carson, something you find is
Marco
that...
drew a picture, right?
Yes.
I'll also show that.
Mm-hmm. So for Carson, you discover something incredibly interesting. Upon looking at all the different buildings in Galva Hills, and then looking at the inn, you notice the scratches on the windows are only located on the inn. No other building has scratches, at least of that same description.
What?
If they are scratched, you can tell they are surface level due to what we assumed, or I guess maybe what they want you to assume, are trees, leaves, maybe some rocks, storms, hail, things of that nature. But there are very, very intentional scratches on the windows of only the inn and only the rooms in which people stay.
All the windows?
Every single one.
Ah, that's bizarre.
What about
that's sus.
owner's room?
Where she sleeps?
Yeah.
You actually look around, like the bottom floor, no scratches. You're not 100% sure if Eleanor actually stays in the inn or not.
Is she related to the old man?
Eleanor, no.
How long has she been owner?
What if all the villagers are like mutated versions of the people that went missing?
Oh my god.
Eleanor is, well, you could probably ask. I say while you're kind of moving around. Eleanor's family has owned the Season's Comfort for quite some time. So she basically inherited it from her mother and father, and she's just running it now. And she does have...
So they're long-term Galva residents.
Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, her partner passed away a while back, but she does have a son that she's raising alone, and she does live, alone with said son, but not in Season's Comfort. She has her own house. And like I said, you noticed before, all either homes, none of them have scratches on their windows. It's only Season's Comfort.
You're like, I need to go find the basement or something.
You would be able to, before the day runs out, relay this information back to Jay at I.C.S. And I will say, Jay, without having you need to roll anything, is basically with the image, with the description, with everything you guys are able to give them, there isn't...
Also the weird post nails. Was it like totem pole with like nails driven into it, or was it more of like a framework posts?
More totemy, yeah. So basically they took like a tree, scraped all the bark off, and then boom, boop, boop, nails.
Oh yeah,
they were like normal nails, or were they like the those big nails that you use for trains?
Yeah,
train things, or
more so that size. They're huge.
Okay, so okay, yeah, I'd also add those in the mix. What would those even mean?
So they definitely have some information. They let you know a couple things. They say first and foremost, looking at that jawbone and all this nonsense, they can tell that the piece of the deer, that horn, the plant, whatever it is, it's made of bone, but they can't obviously ID it. It doesn't belong to any individual. They don't know if it's animal. They don't know if it's human. But the thing is, this is super normal for entities. So we expect that.
No more cryptid stuff.
Exactly. So that is to be expected. Regarding the information of what they have, they let you know that, hey, y'all have a landline. If you can either feed us more information, and you're able to feed this information from Carson, that only the inn has scratches, basically they'll look into this, and for every clue you give them, I basically have a list of clues here that I have written down, and these clues specifically will lead to this thing. They let you know that upon looking at all the various incursions that have occurred in the past, this thing, there's a possibility, gauging on how it's reacted and what it's doing, that it's hiding its real form, and the way it's currently presenting itself could possibly be a way to basically spread fear. So they're not sure if the thing you're looking at is actually it. So effectively, the more information you guys can, the more information you guys can bring back to them.
Are we talking about more of an ethereal thing, or more of it might be hiding in the cave and it has a physical body thing?
They're thinking, from everything you gave them, Jay, you said it basically, out of these thorns, out of this plant bone structure, it made, its antlers dragged down and tried to trap you guys. Clearly not a plant. It can extend these. Okay, so that's something. Maybe it's a shapeshifter. Maybe it can transform itself. It can make these animals, but the animal was connected to the original because you guys saw it standing there after you shot it.
It's also all part of the plant life, apparently.
Yes. So all of it is part of that, meaning if it can just make these fake-looking deer out of this weird bone structure, it's probably some form of shapeshifter. Something along those lines. But the entity you saw, is most likely it. The way it's hiding itself under all the skin, they're not sure why it's doing it. Maybe it's ashamed of itself. Maybe, it's just doing it to scare, prey. That part they don't know. So if you can provide more clues, they can give you more information effectively. But they are now looking into it, definitely, with everything you've given them, which is quite a bit.
I mean, I would give them as much information as I could give them, I guess. Everything we know. It didn't seem interested in hunting us down until we started cutting this guy out of the cave.
Yeah, that they basically lead to... Observing. Yeah, so that... they basically come to the conclusion that this is a possibility. This scabbing structure is weird. You said there were only faces hanging on it. The only non-scabbed part of Ivan is his face. So it feels like you took its prey, and it was angry. So the second you touched that, he was basically ripe for the picking. You pissed it off.
Right. And of course, the cave also let down further, and it was creepy.
That they don't know, but it's probably best not to go in there. You can if you want, but
yeah,
Margot
I wasn't planning on it, but at the same time,
Margot would know that's dangerous.
Yes, the only reason I would go in there is if I think there's a heart down there or something.
Indeed,
a beating heart in the darkness.
The telltale heart.
And
so, have they done any research on what this scabbing might be weak to? I guess can we burn it?
They're currently looking into it, but they're not sure. It'll definitely take some time. But of course, you guys are more than welcome to stay here. They can attempt to call Season's Comfort when they have information. And if you guys are in town, Eleanor can hey, you guys got a call from your what do you want to say they are, a florist, or what's the cover?
I mean, we already went with the floral fauna and flora expert, so
Okay, so a museum or something, yeah. Something along those lines.
Something that doesn't catch too much attention for the locals to.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say we heard rumors of unusual, undiscovered plant life here, and we're curious to see if it was real.
Yeah, more so.
That'll grab attention though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not negative is more so the cue I want.
That's true.
Effectively, if I.C.S.
rare plants, that might be a good thing for them, even.
Yeah. So if I.C.S. calls, they'll go under that, and they'll ask for you guys and say, "Hey, we got some information about the flora you brought back, etc., etc." So only Eleanor will know.
Wildlife protection.
Pretty much. Only she'll know. So regarding that, Margot, you can go ahead and heal one more, as you're going to stay the whole day here. Carson, you basically spend the whole day around Galva Hills, and you discover what you discover. And they let you know that they'll be sending a a little buggy to pick up Maya the next morning, basically, after they discover everything they can. Ivan is still, they're trying to keep Ivan out of it as much as they possibly can. They haven't found a way yet to fix this like scabbing, but anytime he wakes up, he mostly against his will is like trying to get up, and he's not saying why, but if they pester him and push him, and if he's not Googled out of it, then it looks like he's trying to get back. I want to go back. I need to go back. I have to go back. Like he looks adamant until they knock him back out. And he looks scared.
So he doesn't talk to anyone either? Like he just cries to go back?
He's on and off.
It's just his face that's not scabbed, right?
Yep.
Do you think if we had left him there, the face would have become part of his face might have become part of the creature's faces?
Yeah, I'm inclined to say so.
Possibly. To be clear, it's been about 2 days, and Margot and Jay, they let you know that the scabbing has not continued. It has stayed exactly where it was. They even, they're testing it, but this is for you and for Maya. They cut some of the scab around his face to see if it would continue onto his cheeks. It did not. It scabbed over exactly where it was, no further.
Oh, God. That has to be painful, though.
A little. They're doing their best to keep him knocked out. Margot, during this night, though, before we roll over to the next day, roll me tough. Alrighty. While in the middle of the night, once again, no strange dreams. You seem fine. Your leg is wrapped up, but you do wake up in the middle of the night, and you kind of feel yourself rubbing your leg against the side of like your bed, but you wake up fast enough to realize what you're doing, and you stop. And after you reposition, you're able to get back to bed with no issues.
Would I be able to say that the idea to cover her up with like a thing is a help action?
It very much helped. So she won't get any further scabbing. It's not going to break it. 9 is a mixed success, but that means she did do it, so no problem.
I am now aware that it affects you while you're sleeping, though. So interesting.
I'll make sure to handcuff you when you go to sleep.
Well, you have to tie on my leg too. Can I?
Plenty of handcuffs in my van.
Can I have Carson double check? Because can we double check if Ivan was a visitor to the inn?
No, Ivan lived there.
He lived there. He was a local, apparently.
Yep.
Oh, so he just might have gone missing from town.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Ivan was on the census for Galva Hills at the beginning of the year. All right, now on this day, we wake up, and like I said, Jay, your suggestion is effectively what helped Margot not have to actually deal with any problems. Of course, it's hard to walk around during the day like this, but when you sleep, they effectively can give you like an on-off cast, Margot, for sleeping. So that'll help. Obviously, during the day, you can't wear it. You're not going to get around. But you have a decent wrapping for the day.
Full plate armor.
Exactly. So they'll keep looking after Ivan. If they get any new information, they'll call you. You guys are more than welcome to go back to Galva Hills if you wish. They will be sending a car basically along with you guys if you leave in the morning to go pick up Maya. So it's up to you, Jay, and Margot.
No, I would also leave behind the map that I bought for them to study. Maybe if they can figure anything out from the names and stuff.
Sure. Yeah, they'll make a copy of it and let you keep your original.
Sure.
Did my scab get worse overnight?
As it's all wrapped up, it definitely did get worse from the original, but that's probably because you had them work on it and cut it open.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks worse from the initial scabbing, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
And is it much worse? It's hard to tell, honestly, at this point.
Okie dokes.
Other than that, are the two of you returning to Galva Hills?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything more we can do outside of Galva Hills right now.
Alrighty, and with that, like I mentioned, a car is sent to go pick up Maya. Very early. It'll move along the same time that Jay and Margaret do, so everyone will arrive at the same moment. And when they do, the three of you are indeed reunited. Graham seems fine. He let you guys know that he didn't really have any nightmares either. And we'll say we probably get there since y'all left early, like just prior to noon. Around 11 or so.
Is he okay leaving work for this long? Because this is kind of an extended vacation now.
He was planning an extended vacation.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Yeah, so he basically saved up all of his his work time to take a full-on vacation because his little, weekend trips and night trips of trying to look for his friend didn't work. So he saved up as much as he possibly could to call you guys, and he was excited and prepared for this.
Aww, it's a good guy.
It's gonna be so sad when you find out that Graham was the monster all along.
No, that doesn't even make any sense. I don't know why I'm so
No, it
shy.
doesn't.
Instantly chose to suspend disbelief for it, and then realized that it just would not work narratively, or would it?
Dun dun
What
dun.
do you mean?
Maybe the monster was
kidnap
Finn the
himself.
whole time.
Also possible. Have you tried taking pictures of the creature? Like actual pictures?
No.
Who are you asking?
I mean, Graham took his camera with him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, has he tried taking pictures of like the deer we encountered?
I mean, he
No
wasn't.
way.
Yeah, he wasn't there the second time, so the first one y'all just kind of looked at it, and he barely even saw it. And Carson saw it primarily.
Well, do we happen to have a spare camera with us?
Oh yeah, you guys have the camera on you.
No, it's time
Someone
to
would.
bring that. See if things happen.
Excellent. All right, so we're all indeed reunited, and the truck
Actually,
arrives.
we have our
Yes.
phones. What are we talking about?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't blame you. You can bring up like a backup camera in case you don't trust the phone. So
Well,
it's all
and
good.
you suggested a body cam, right?
Yeah, true. I
Yeah.
can GoPro.
Yeah. Hey, realistically, any shit like that, go for it.
You know what? Since we were in town anyway, I bought some GoPros.
Sure.
We now have video evidence of anything we do in the forest.
Hell yeah. So we arrive around 11 or so, and the specialist comes up. We'll probably go with, since Graham has been spending some days with Maya. Graham goes to like, hey Maya, the specialist is here, and she doesn't answer initially. He knocks a couple more times. And he kind of looks at the specialist like, okay.
Please don't tell me we were too late.
You're not. She takes an extra minute to answer, but when she does, you notice that she kind of has her whole hand wrapped up in like one of the bed blankets. Her arm is wrapped up, and she just looks really tired. Like, what?
Maya.
Was it that bad yesterday when I called?
Oh my god. It was only on her fingers.
And when you say that, she smirks and points and says, "I didn't scratch it. I stayed up. I wanted to, but I didn't." And she holds the arm up and says, "This kind of worked, I think. I'm not sure. A little."
Wait, okay. Let me okay. Hold a
Let the
second.
specialist take a look.
What, you didn't scratch it the entire time, which is very good. Well done. And it still got that big?
No, it's she starts to unwrap it, and it didn't go up her arm. She seems proud, like there's no way it got any bigger. And as she unwraps the whole thing and shows her hand, when the whole group saw it, it was about where her wrist was. Carson, when you saw it, it was just barely like half an inch down her wrist. And that's the last time you saw it. As she happily unwraps it, it looks like it's about an inch or two down her wrist now. And she looks at it in dismay, like, I didn't scratch it, I swear. She's just looking at it like, what the shit? She goes to daintily pick at it, like, oh, maybe it's just over my skin. And as she goes to touch it, it is a scab. It's like full on. She goes, ah, shit, okay, never mind. And she holds her hand away from herself, like, all right. And as she unwraps it, a very faint foul smell kind of drifts away from her hand.
Not the smell.
Similar.
Capital T, capital S, TM.
Yeah, it smells very similar.
Oh man. You know, Maya, props to not scratching it. Very well done. But
Nods.
oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I didn't touch it, so specialist guy, I guess you're here to take me away and look at it. And
Yeah,
But-
well,
but-
at least
Yeah.
I guess it hampered the growth.
while she seems a little proud, she's still pissed that it got bigger anyway. And she's like, it's all good, it's all good. She's like, shit.
Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, there's
So
no
it
glove.
grows anyway, but scratching makes it fast.
She's like thinking of that and kind of nods in agreement, like, yeah, probably. Damn it. Okay. So she doesn't know what's going on, but it's happening, so there's no reason to ignore it. She gets dressed real quick, throws on a coat, puts on the best like loose glove she can so it doesn't rub up against it. And she's like, all right, specialist, take me away. Do your best on whatever that will be. So they will bring them basically to the general town area, and a mile will get looked at. So they leave it around noon.
Well, did we want to go talk to Stefan right now? And did we want to spend the day doing something else?
Yeah.
Because I think tonight we're going to break and enter
Break and enter where?
the hotel.
Yeah, I do tell you guys about the fact that there are only scratch marks in here. Or on the windows here and nowhere else.
Well,
I mean,
wait.
if Eleanor doesn't sleep here, that's even better. That means we have access more easily to the back rooms.
Oh, I gotcha. I mean, I'm cool talking to Stefan, but I'm probably going to be a little aggressive.
Don't be aggressive.
Um,
He's been not helpful, but also not helpful. You know what I mean?
no. People are dying. That's murder.
Wait, who's died?
Everyone before Ivan.
Okay,
Every
that's
single
fair.
one of those faces hanging.
You know
from
what?
the
That's
out-
fair. I only considered the last several weeks, but that's very fair. Ivan probably would have been dead very soon.
Frankly, he might still die.
So
Considering the people that die, are forgotten by everyone and everything.
So it's kind
A
of
lot of
like,
people
well,
might have
do you
died.
think Stefan? Maybe Stefan doesn't know that people are actually dying
True.
Yeah,
because
that's
he can't
possible.
remember them.
He probably doesn't know. So if we tell him now, he might be more forthcoming.
More willing to discuss it.
How about I have a picture of Ivan on my phone?
Sure. I mean, he probably still remembers Ivan, honestly.
He doesn't know what he looks like now, though.
True. I mean, if he wants to make a picture of him, that's fine.
All right,
There's
I have a
plenty of
picture
time.
just in case.
Okay. Do you guys all go straight to his home?
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Alrighty. Y'all are able to do that. And like before, instead of him answering the door, this time it is the maid. And she seems very like, oh, surprised. I'm like, oh, didn't mean to, wasn't expecting you all today. What brings you in?
He offered us tea, right?
Mhm.
I'm here for that tea.
And I also believe there was something about pastries.
Oh, she smiles at that and says, if you could wait 1 moment, I will be right back. And she gently closes the door, turns about. You can hear her kind of clop, clop, clop away. You don't hear any muffled conversation, but after about a minute or two, she comes back, opening the door, smiling very widely, and motions for you all to come in.
I'll walk in.
All right, she leads you
I
guys.
Okay.
I stride in.
Can I vibe check the house?
You very much can. Are you looking for anything individual? In particular.
You know how
Yes.
people with long histories have like things hung up on the wall?
Yeah.
Are there any of those?
Oh, yeah, there's plenty. There's him posed along with many individuals from the town. Some you recognize, some you don't. You see younger pictures of him, of his family, his father, his father's father, on hunting expeditions, things of that nature. You notice that there aren't as many hunting photos of him as his father, but in general, the man seems to have gotten around. Everyone in the town seems to like him, as he has tons of pictures with just like everybody. Some of the folks you don't recognize possibly are people just like yourselves, people that swung by, maybe, stayed for a bit, took a photo with Stefan, and he proudly displayed it up. That, along with the other things that I mentioned that Carson found. This place has a very rustic feel to it. Very old. This house was made like long ago. Matches the age of the town easily. It's probably why it's so large. It's 2, possibly 3 stories. It's difficult to tell, but you indeed see a stair set going up. And as you guys enter, Stefan kind of comes around the corner, closing a door behind him, and welcomes you all to come to the dining room with him.
Hello again.
Oh, hello. I see all 3 of you are here now.
Yep, we're back.
Well, fortunately for you, we are always prepared, so we've got tea and pastries prepared for everyone, yes?
Sounds great.
Excellent. Preferably the ones that Carson pointed out were more towards your taste, so I do hope you enjoy them all. Are we just here for a quick chat? Your friend did come by prior, I assume, and he kind of pauses for a moment, and after looking at Carson, looks back to the rest of you. I assume, Carson, you shared the information with your friends here?
I did, yeah.
Are we here to continue that conversation, or are we here for something else?
We are.
No, we're here to continue the conversation.
All right, he nods slowly at
If
that
you're
one.
open for it, at least.
To a degree, yes. What did you want to know?
Well, to
Uh,
start with,
So how open do we want to be about this?
I'm thinking maybe I want to be super open.
All right.
I
in
think
that
we
case-
should be uncomfortably open.
Yeah, you know what? In that case, I'm
But
going
not
to
mean.
No, I'm not going to be mean yet. I'm just going to lay out the flat truth. I'm going to roll up my pants leg and show him my wound. I'm going to, uncover it. No, I'm sure it won't look impressive, but I'm going to show it.
She rolls up the pants leg and it just smells disgusting.
Fortunately, it does not.
Yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
But you do have a scab on the back of your leg, Margot. And as you're like not undressing, but reeling your leg, he kind of takes a step back, like, "What are you doing?" And then you shout, and he goes, "Oh, did you receive that while hunting?"
I did, from a white vine with red-tipped thorns. Now, this is what I'm going to look like in an undeterminable amount of time, and I will show him the picture of Ivan.
He looks at it for a moment and instantly pulls his eyes away and goes, "Oh, that's what exactly is that?"
That is Ivan Dallas.
That is a person.
I'm sorry, that's real?
That is real.
He's one of your townsfolk, by the way. Still remember him?
He pauses to think for a second and says, "I'm sorry, what was the name again?"
Ivan Dallas.
His cheerful demeanor turns down just a bit, and you can kind of see the maid looking around the corner. He looks at her and shoos her away, and looks back at you all and says, "Well, we're all here for... Who are you all? Precisely. Who are you really?"
Wait, pause.
"Yes."
Do you know who it is?
"I do, yes.
All right.
He's been missing for some time."
Yes. Well, to
Interesting.
make things easier for everyone involved here, we aren't here to ruin the image of this town or anything like that.
In fact, you have people missing here on a regular basis, but you care about your reputation. I know no one remembers them after the fact, but people going missing and dying means they'll never come back, and they'll never share how great this place is. So if we don't put an end to whatever caused this to Ivan, you're never going to get the reputation you deserve. This place is beautiful. Please don't let some local ancient folklore murder it.
Local ancient being beyond our comprehension.
He
We'll
somewhat...
just kick him out.
Yeah, he painfully smiles at that and says, "Well, you all seem much more informed than I was anticipating. Good, I
It
guess.
is our job, after all.
Understandable. If I may say, Ivan Dallas missing is something the town is indeed aware of. I would greatly prefer if you do not go... Have you gone around asking about him?"
Nope.
Not yet. Doesn't particularly matter.
All right. It is somewhat of a sore point, so I would greatly prefer if you keep it to yourselves. Where did you find him?
In a cave, guarded by a deer with lots of paces.
He nods slowly again at that and says, "Is he alive?"
For now.
Oh.
I'm certain if he'll make it. Those are scabs.
Yes, he glances again at the photo, then back to you after shaking his shoulder a bit and says, "Where are you keeping him? You found him in a cave."
A hospital.
A safe space.
All right. He's well looked after.
Not by you, obviously.
He wants to come back here, by the way. He's drawn.
Interesting.
Well,
What
back to
I
the
would
case,
like
rather.
to know
Yes.
is if he comes back here, will you be the only person that remembers him?
Oh, no. We all know good old Ivan Dallas. The boy was a bit of a recluse, you see, and him going missing, we assumed it was... honestly, we weren't sure. He wasn't much of a hunter, or maybe he went out on some form of drinking binge or something. The boy wasn't known to fall into his cups too much, but it was there was some drama throughout Old Galway Hills for a few months, but we've all calmed down, and of course we've been looking for him, so please don't assume we just allowed the boy to go missing. This was...
Wait, he's been missing for months?
Yes.
Why does everybody remember him but not Finn?
Well, he hasn't been fully digested yet.
Yeah.
But we can't say the same for Finn.
Oh,
Yes, and I'm
God.
sorry about this Finn character. I really do wish I could help.
Do
But
Wait,
you
when did
remember
so does that
Graham-
mean
Do you remember Graham Faulkner?
was he the
He's
loud
with
boy
us.
with
Yeah.
the bright
Always
clothing?
happy.
Yes,
Always
yes.
happy, always smiling. Yeah, he was
Yes.
also here.
He was
Couple
quite nice.
Months
Yes,
back, right?
I believe so. He came alone, and he seemed to enjoy his time here.
Yes, that's the thing, though. He did not come alone. He was here with Finn. But you do not remember him, do you?
So he's been giving you guys somewhat confused and shocked looks this entire time. This one seems more genuine than the rest.
Take out the picture, I guess, of Finn.
He looks at the kid and just like, I've legitimately, the look on his face is, I have never seen this kid before.
Exactly.
so?
And that's what was going to happen to Ivan. You wouldn't even be able to remember him.
Has Ivan been... So Ivan's been missing for less time than Finn has been missing.
Yes.
But we
Actually,
didn't see
how does
Finn's
everything
face
up
on the
to-
creature, right?
Yeah,
No.
I was thinking about that. Think about it, Megan. What makes a face a face? Oh, sorry, a recognizable face.
The skeletal structure?
Yeah. So just a flap of skin, you'd never recognize it.
Oh, that's disgusting.
You're welcome.
I was
That's
thinking about that a couple
awful.
of weeks ago, and I'm like, even if Finn's face was on it, we'd never know it.
That's true.
Unless he had like a mole.
Unless we wear it.
Oh,
no.
God.
He would need to wear it.
Become as fan. Finn, we found your face. Oh, thanks, guys.
Anyway,
You're
back
like,
to
thanks, I've been looking for that.
Slaps
the
back on.
topic at hand.
Yes, of course. He points to the food in front and says, while the conversation may be quite glib, you're still more than welcome to the food I've
Oh, I
prepared
will.
for you."
I'm happily munching.
Same.
Stomach of steel.
Good. He smiles at that. Like, it's a genuine smile. Like, he did prepare all this for you, and he does want to help.
Like Jay is literally like straight up enjoying this food
Love it.
Same.
while talking about like gruesome facts.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's good. It's all homemade.
Mmm. Pastries.
Oh, I should try these, Margot.
Ooh, that looks good.
I
Crunch.
think it's goat cheese.
Nom.
I love goat cheese.
It is
Oh,
quite
have some
good.
too, Carson.
I eat it.
It's delicious.
Almost enough to
Anyway,
make me forget about all
face
those
flay.
murdered people. But not that good.
You seem
Back
like
to the thing at hand.
you seem like the kind of person who is, well, not necessarily clued in, but I think you're old enough and experienced enough to have known some facts and not take everything at face value.
Of course, of course.
So I guess we'll have to ask the question again. What do you know exactly about, well, honestly, anything?
Well, I was speaking true when Carson and I met earlier. I truly do not know anything about this entity, this thing that you all mentioned. You may have described it to me, but I did tell Carson I only think I saw it when I was a child, and I could have seen anything. When I say it, I saw a slurry of faces, and they passed by. Well, it
A
was
slurry of faces?
Yeah, you know, like we saw. in the
That is a
passageway.
description that I will unfortunately never forget.
Would you happen to have been somewhere around the, what was the cave called again? The small one?
the
Hunter's
name.
Hollow? Was that Lava Crash or
The
Lava
whole
Crash?
the whole name of the forest is Lavagash.
No, in that case, the slightly smaller area around that small cave.
As you kind of point out the area, he just probably would not have gone that that deep into the forest, but as a child, you really cannot tell. It truly was just
All right.
multiple
Do you
faces passing me by.
Do you remember a pathway in the middle of the forest? That seems to be a bit too convenient.
No, I cannot say I do. If I could help more with whatever this was, believe me, I most definitely would. It might take me some time, but I could look through my father's old papers and my grandfather's if you'd like.
Would you like us to
yeah.
help?
I would prefer
Is
if
it
you.
written in English or?
It's a mixture of languages. My grandfather was a little half and half. His more coherent thoughts, unfortunately, are not in English, but I should be able to read and decipher them.
He was Croatian, right?
Correct, yes.
Yes, that makes sense.
All right. Well, yes, we need as much information on this creature as possible.
Well, I
Honestly, anything you can share at all, even if it's like a weird detail, like, I don't know, if it had hair or not.
of course.
And the sooner the better. If we can come up with a solution, we might be able to save Ivan.
And
Be
Maya,
able to save
and
Maya.
Margot,
And also you, I guess.
Oh yeah, me too.
and anyone in the future.
Oh, indeed. Well, I didn't really have any plans for the day besides going around and picking up more of that delicious goat cheese. I'll have to pause that for tomorrow, of course. And my maid here will be able to assist me. So, I guess enjoy the town, do what you will. If you really think this animal, this thing is roaming the forest, I would prefer you not run into it again if it truly is that dangerous. If you absolutely have to.
Well, considering our last encounter, I don't think we'll be going back into the forest anytime soon.
Good. Despite all of this, and all these strange happenings, which I do believe you, by the way, I do not think any of you are crazy. I've seen some odd things in my time. I don't want anyone dying, of course. If it struck you or hurt you in any way, I'm not sure how we would explain that. And I'm not only saying this so that the police don't get involved, bad press and all that. I truly do not want you to get hurt. And by this point, you guys have eaten most of the food.
And I appreciate your concern.
And he
bought out like 3 plates and they're all empty.
Yeah, he was kind of expecting that.
He knows how delicious they are.
I mean, this is basically your guys' breakfast. It works. Other than that, you got any questions for him?
Like, honestly, at this point, Jay is contemplating asking for his friend to, like, I don't know, give them a starting point for looking for books. Or the mayor, rather.
Oh, to help the elder?
Basically, yeah.
You do get the feeling that while he said there's a decent amount, the reason he doesn't want you guys to help is for probably privacy reasons. So he should be able to find it within the day, whatever it is. Like, there's not that much. It's not that there's too much. It's just he's, a little touchy on family stuff.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean,
also, a whole language barrier.
Anyway.
Of course.
True. Yeah.
True. Like, I probably picked up, when we were in town, a Croatian to English dictionary.
Sure. And besides that, y'all only got any more questions for him?
No, I think that's it.
Keep us updated.
Oh, we'll do.
We'll be in the hotel.
Perfect. Stay safe,
Can
you
I
all.
ask, by the way, when the hotel was added? Or the second story?
I do believe
it's... Is it a new building, or is it has it always been here?
Well, it hasn't always been here. It might have been constructed back in the 70s, the 80s, maybe.
It's not too long ago.
Not too long ago, no. Probably closer to the 70s, I might say.
What was it? Built on top of an existing building, like an extension, or?
Oh yes. There was not an extension, but there was an older building there that we'd have folk that would occasionally swing by. Much less frequent back then, mind you. We didn't have the large town that I assume you all came from nearby, so it could house at most 2 or 3 guests. But we found more and more people visiting, so we figured why not update.
Did the old building happen to have a second story?
No, it was completely demolished.
Really? Nothing of it remains at all? Not even a poster or anything?
Shouldn't be, no. I mean, I would say maybe they kept a poster too for old time's sake, but I was quite young at that time and was not part of the construction team, so...
Well, anyway, regardless, thanks for the information.
Oh, of course. How were the sweets, by the way? Delectable, I would hope?
Yes. Very good. Definitely better than the stuff we have in the city.
He smiles very widely at that. I says, excellent,
much sugar in those, honestly.
Yes, I feel these are the perfect blend. I'll be sure to tell the chef.
All right,
and with that, you guys are free to kind of head back on out.
I was going to ask, are there any more, like, new constructions in the village since then, or not at all?
In general, if there are any newer constructions, they would possibly be homes. But from how it looks, this town kind of has the same-ish number of homes. They don't urge the families to have like 90 children. So for the most part, you inherit your, the house from your family, and it kind of goes down.
I more so meant like buildings that have literally been added to the town rather than reconstructed.
Very few. And like I said, if anything, they would be residential.
You said the second story had been reconstructed?
No, basically that whole building was smashed and then built from scratch.
Oh, so the full thing had been reconstructed?
Full thing, yeah.
It might still be within like the town border or something.
Yeah, so it was same location on that hill, but prior it was like a three room like log cabin for people staying in, and then too many people were end up swinging by, and they're like, you know what? The people want their privacy. Let's make it larger. They had turned too many folk away. We'll say back in the 70s is when it was constructed.
So, Margot, do you happen to know anything about boundaries? The magical kind.
Personal boundaries?
I mean, sure, if those work. But more like the spiritual boundaries, Keep evil spirits out. Vampires can't enter unless you let them.
Yeah, what about them?
Would you be able to spot any?
Not sure. Or do they usually leave signs, God?
Yes. Now, not everything obviously makes sense. Some old lore is like, why? What? But, yes, you are indeed able to, if you keep an eye out, look for things. So if you guys want, you can kind of travel around the town looking for whatever these boundaries are or other clues of that nature.
Yes,
okay,
that's what I was going to do.
Yeah, I think I'd have experience doing that.
Okay. Would you all like to keep an eye out on things, or
Yeah.
Yeah, look for like anything weird or in Croatian, I guess.
Do we all know how to look for it, or is it something I can easily explain to the others to look for?
Like
They can
Jay
be
is currently
looking.
thinking of like, you know, those posts with the nails in them, something like that maybe.
Yeah. So you can find things like that, or realistically, Margot, if it's not precisely what you're looking for, something odd about the town that stands out. So any of those
Honestly,
things work.
Okay.
Yeah, we can take pictures with our phones and like, you know, come back to it, discuss things.
Yeah, that sounds good. And 3 separate groups should be fine.
Perfect. All right. All of you roll me investigate a mystery. We'll have 3 individual rolls. My God, an 11, a 12, and an 11. Okay, good thing you guys went individually. That's 3 full successes.
I hope there's something useful to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things. Okay, holy shit.
Kills
Let's see. Yeah, I know, right? All right, first we will go with. So the way the moldable investigative mystery works is a mixed success is 1 vague question. A full success is either 2 vague questions or 1 very pointed question. I can say I can give you guys 3, maybe just 2 very pointed answers. And we can say, Margot, let's see. Margot, you'll find this one. So upon looking around the town for anything that stands out, this takes a while. And you mentioned before, you've been jotting things down, you've been drawing. You heard from Carson that no buildings, except for the inn, have scratches on the windows. So you notice that. This spurs you to maybe take a closer look at all these buildings. And you do notice something after sketching and sketching. Near the end of the day, you realize that every single building faces the entryway, that is, faces north, except for the inn. So the door.
Every single entryway faces north?
Yes. So every gate, every gate to get into every home, all of them face true north. The hotel for guests has a gate that faces south and doors that face east and west.
Wait, so there is no north door?
There is no north door on the hotel.
Are all of the buildings older than the hotel?
Yes.
Oh, that's weird.
That means the original builders knew something that the new ones didn't.
Yeah.
Likely, yes.
Something else. We'll say, All right, so I'm going to answer one more as pointed answer as that one. And we'll say for Carson and Jay, if one of you have a particular question you want to ask outside of this, because this next answer will give something, I'll allow either of you to answer it. So one of you find this next thing. And that next thing is, you look around, you see the people. I mentioned there's a whole bunch of animals running around. Upon closer inspection, you realize that they have cats, they got pigs, they got goats, cows, chickens, a whole bunch of birds. You don't find a single dog in this town.
No dogs?
No dogs.
What?
That's weird.
They've got pigs, but no dogs?
Correct. In fact, you see someone walking their pig. Pretty cute.
So
I mean,
no
definitely are.
dogs, and all the doors are facing north.
Indeed. Now, for your guys' third question, if you guys want to come up with this as a group, or if one of you has a good one, you can ask 1 very pointed question or 2 general ones.
Anybody got any particular questions?
You can
I'm
technically-
thinking.
Yeah, you can technically pocket it as well if you want.
While we're thinking,
Do we know where Ivan lived?
Yes, you do find his family home. And while he is indeed missing, obviously the family has to move on, so they indeed have. Yeah, mother and father, and they have a younger daughter. She's about 16. And he was 22, I think I said.
it's only been a couple, not that many months. They should have moved on already.
When I say moved on, they're not openly weeping.
All right.
And there's nothing weird about their house, right?
No,
It's
nothing,
also facing north and has like a pet pig.
nothing. Yeah, pet pig, nothing strange.
Okay.
Pigs make great pets. They're adorable.
If I mentally backtrack to the cave where we found Ivan, can I remember which direction it was facing? Like which direction the path was leading?
Sure. It was very windy. There were no, so while it was definitely a path, specifically, there was no gate or door on this. So you get the feeling that it's not connected, but it was facing south-ish, like southeast.
So what about the direction when we approached the path? Did we approach from a certain direction?
Around southeast-ish.
So we approached from the south and then going north.
Essentially, yes.
Is that relevant?
Regarding the path, no.
Okay.
I mean, the town folks also go into like the woods sometimes, right? For hunting specifically.
Occasionally, yeah.
Now, is
No
there
hunting
anything-
dogs, huh?
Yeah. Is there anything that, like, I don't know, I can see from the clothing they wear, or like charms that they bring, like native stuff that only the natives wear and have on them?
While you don't see any charms, you notice that a lot of people are they're very homely and plain looking. No extravagant makeup. Their hair is done up nicely, but no one stands out too much, is something that you notice. Everyone's fairly plain.
And Jay went looking around for Carishan marks on the houses or buildings or ground.
You do find some, but with your quick like translator, a lot of them are either names that were carved from a long time ago. Some are like old curses that were attempted to like scratch out or buff out. You see some that seem to be for like old-timey like protection, but these aren't hidden whatsoever. They're actually somewhat out in the open. In fact, you see a shop that sells like protection charms, but they're kind of the whole like, like a good luck charm. They're effectively sold in that same sense.
Do the locals carry these around?
No, not on them. If anything, it just seems like something that they're selling. They can point at the old homes and go, "Oh yes, back in the."
So a cute little tourist trap.
Effectively, yes. Yeah, they like to point at the old homes. Maybe you look at one of the tours that's kind of going around, and you can see that the tour will indeed point that out at some point. It's on their list. So,
Would you like to have a trinket that will stop the creature from eating your face?
effectively, yeah.
So, okay. This is so strange. So, everybody in the village is just very plain looking?
Yeah.
So, comparatively, like, where do Maya and Finn rank on that plain scale?
You didn't really have too many photos of Finn, but he was definitely more of a modern boy. Graham is an explosion of color, so he can't not stand out. He is noticeable from anywhere in this town, 100%. You guys are fairly, you're trying to stand out, understandably. Maya would definitely stand out, though. She didn't go like crazy with the makeup, but she wore, enough to, feel comfortable, for how she wants to look every day. And she was indeed like going out, so you don't want to put up too much. You don't need to look good for the pigs. But
Does it want pretty faces? Oh my god.
It hates technology.
Well, it's like,
Oh my god, the monster is a boomer. It's literally a Scooby-Doo adventure. So like the buildings all seem to have like the weird way they're built. Is there anything around the forest itself that can, or like, I don't know, signifies a boundary or something like postings every so often?
Not that you can see. In terms
Right.
of protection, you can tell that there's no way these homes were built in this way on accident. This is 100% intentional.
Okay.
And you get the feeling that that is their protection.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Did
can't
we
come up
ever ask how old the old homes are?
Most of the old homes would link up to how old this place is.
Is Stefan's grandfather notes a good hope point? Is he potentially old enough to know something useful, or is that a dead end? Based on the age of the houses.
Sorry, who's? Stefan?
Yeah.
Stefan and his family should know, because he basically said that he and his family are effectively like, passed down the elder information.
Okay.
And all the photos you saw were from his family. So it's not like they passed this house from person to person. It definitely belongs to the Wittenbergs.
Like his house was also built with the entrance in the north, I assume.
Yes, all of them, except the only exception is the inn.
Can I
Hey Stefan, we need to rotate the hotel.
actually no? Can't we just move the door? Rebuild the entrance. Can I
Assuming it's literally just the doorway needs to be north, yes. Unless it's also like some weird building requirement, but yeah.
hard to say.
Either way, it's not something they can easily do, I think.
It depends on the framework, I think.
Yeah.
Once whoever points out that there's no dogs, can I start going around showing off my dog?
Like pictures?
Yeah. I noticed there's a distinct lack of dogs in this town. That's weird. Look how cute this dog is. How come you don't have one?
Sure. While you go to show the little what BFF, right?
BFF.
Okay, well, you go around to show your BFF to people. They look at it and they give you kind of confused look initially and go, "Oh yes, that is cute."
they've never seen a dog.
You're not sure? They're kind of playing along. Oh yeah, that's a nice animal. I've not seen one before, but cute.
Yes, that is a nice animal.
That is a very
That
nice,
is a creature.
probably domesticated creature, maybe.
So am I getting weird vibe?
I mean, yeah, definitely. They're looking at it like, oh, okay. I mean, it'd be very similar to someone saying, "Hey, look at my pet." I mean, I'm trying to think of like what's it's weird enough that you wouldn't have it. Like, oh my god,
pet penguin.
Yeah, like a pet penguin. Of like, oh, that's yours. Okay, cool. And that's very much the vibe you get. Of like, oh, you can have one of those as a pet. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, these are great hunting dogs. You guys go hunting sometimes, right? You know, for deer, for food. They can help out and find foxes and moles and groundhogs and all sorts of stuff.
Does this forest have other lichens, like wolves or canids, rather? I guess
there are known to be like some moles and foxes, but they're far enough that you guys shouldn't worry about them too much. They let you guys know when you guys were
so they do
venturing
know
out.
about wolves.
Oh yeah,
that's not domesticated ones. That's weird.
Yeah, they're far enough that you don't need to worry about them too much.
I wonder if any guests have ever brought a hunting dog or a dog in general, a lap dog.
That's what I'm kind of trying to find out. I was specifically mentioning they're great for hunting. How come have guests brought one to help?
You mentioned for hunting, and they kind of give you a look of like, we don't need any help with hunting. Like we're good. Like we know what we're doing. Don't worry. Like sure, I bet.
But they have great noses.
They don't seem to,
and mine is super smart.
They don't seem to not believe you, Margot. But it's almost like you're telling someone that's already flying in a jet, like, look at this helicopter. They're like, okay, mine's flying too. Like I'm good.
This is giving me very weird feelings because I'm having trouble accepting how cute this dog is, and no one thinks she's as cute as I do.
Oh, they think it's cute, but they're not really. They know, like, oh, I've heard of dog. Yes.
Oh, this feels weird.
I mean, why do they need a dog when they have a travel pig?
Exactly.
They don't run as fast.
Hey, big boy can get going.
Actually, pretty damn fast, honestly. So,
all right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Crocodiles are fast too. My God.
Yeah,
true.
But
Good point.
You can zigzag, and
when they're fat, just laying down. Holy shit! They'll bother you.
Yeah.
Oh, they can run. Holy shit.
Honestly, pictures of fat crocodiles is one of my favorite things in the world. So
big old fat flat boys, love them.
Exactly.
Alrighty, so it takes you guys about all day or so to figure this out. You ask some folk and definitely get some odd vibes. Not necessarily what is dog, but I have heard of dog. Do not have one. Were you to ask Eleanor, she would actually say, she'd let you know that basically if someone were to have a dog, there isn't a sign for no dogs, but they have a no pet policy if you are a guest. So that can answer your question of, has a guest brought a dog? No.
All right.
There was an incident in the past with a pet. So, created a mess.
Disappeared and then disappeared?
No, it made a mess.
Like a poop mess, or
like a poop mess. They shudder to think it was a poop monster. Could have been a child, who knows, but probably a pet.
I mean, same different. Well, when they're super tiny.
Pets, honestly. Anyway.
Yeah, so this takes you guys about all day or so to discover. And sundown is indeed approaching fast. What do we all plan to do?
Well, we're going to give all this information to the I.C.S, I guess.
I guess I'll call for an update, because Maya should be back at I.C.S headquarters now, right?
Yes, she definitely is.
The car disappeared.
And what are they doing? Have they run tests yet?
All right, so you guys call in, you relay all this information to them, and with everything you've already given Jay, they will quickly run all this, and they'll let you know that by tomorrow, we'll say since you guys rolled so well, by tomorrow, like early morning, they'll be able to call you guys and tell you what they possibly think it is. They're going to put a rush on this, since you guys don't necessarily have like a good third question. We'll just say that was a third question, and they will firmly answer what this thing is. So we'll go with that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
Or at least, you guys have given them so many clues, they got to nail it down.
Man, though, if this thing has been active since like the 70s, that's a lot of people.
Oh no, it's been active for longer than that.
Yeah, but like not as well fed since the hotel hasn't been there, basically.
True.
So Margo, you're able to ask about Maya. They let you know that she's fine, she's lucid. We're trying to keep her calm and whatnot because that was part of the deal. The expert, as mentioned, has a very good bedside manner, so they're trying to be as charming as possible, keep her relaxed, and they're doing their best to, without restraining her, prevent the scab thing from growing. They're letting you know that it hasn't even been a full day yet, so it hasn't moved. She hasn't scratched it or touched it. They have better ways of, casting her arm up so that she can't touch it. Fortunately, we didn't really have much in Galva Hills, but we, have a lot more on the outside. So far, she's doing good. Ivan, yeah, not so much. He keeps waking up. They can't keep him. They can't keep drugging him to knock him out. That's not healthy. So they're not really sure what to do with Ivan. He keeps losing it, and they don't want to suggest bringing him back to Galva Hills, but he is barely talking to them now. He'll be in conversation, and then he'll just lose it. He'll go catatonic for a moment, and then start freaking out, saying he needs to go back.
Gonna have to put him into a medically induced coma at some point.
Yeah, they do not want to do that. So preferably, if they have to kill him, they will. But they don't want to put him back there because they feel he's going to die anyway. So they really do not want to have to put Ivan out of his misery. But based on how he looks, based on the general state of him, it's not looking good. So they just kind of update you with that.
Yeah.
So if we're going to save his life, we need a solution now.
He's not looking good.
Same.
I would say in terms of in game days, you guys probably have a couple days. I'll let you know if it's if I.C.S. thinks he'll last one more day. I will let you know.
Realistically, would I.C.S. be able to get satellite data from of the cave area, imaging?
They should be able to, but it might take them some time, as this place is kind of in an odd location.
Yeah, definitely.
I actually would be curious. Let's do that. Maybe it's got a unique shape to it.
I doubt they will be able to see the path at all because of all the foresting, but you never know.
No, but if the trees are legitimately growing and not an illusion, there might be some sort of sign there.
Yeah.
Sorry,
it doesn't show up at all.
Weird. Oh yeah, like a weird shape too.
Yeah, we can definitely check that out. And with night fast approaching, do we all just hit the hay? Do we kind of just hang out for the time being? What are we doing?
Might as well hit the hay, I guess.
Waiting for Stefan to get back to us, I guess. I'm not sure.
Stefan said he would basically spend most of the night looking through this. He'll get back to you guys tomorrow, and then tomorrow he'll head out after he tells you guys in the morning. So he'll call you in the morning.
All right.
Yeah, and then he's gonna.
Now the real question is, do we want to stay in the hotel?
No. But maybe we should.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if we get more dreams.
Mm.
I'm more curious if I get a dream.
I'm curious of finding out whether the north part of the entrance is literally just an entrance deal, or if it's a foundation deal. So what would happen if I don't know, drew a box on the floor and slept in that and had the north side be the entrance, quote unquote?
That's very metaphysical of you.
Yes. I doubt it would count as a house, but you never know.
Yeah.
Sadly, I don't have a, build a house instantly kit, so I can't do that.
Create one of those little wood houses in the woods. But the entrance faces north.
Minecraft mode.
Yeah.
Make a dirt house.
Perfect.
Can you grab paint and paint a door, or does that not count as creating a door?
That is just painting a door. So you get the feeling that this is intentionally built the way it is, and it probably means something. Like I say, it's too intentional.
So it might be foundational then?
Probably.
I wonder. No. Never mind.
Well, it would be safer inside the hotel, I guess, than outside. So
definitely.
Or we could jump in the van and drive away a couple miles.
But then we're in the woods on the road.
Not in the woods, in the open, away from the woods.
I'll take my chance. I'll take my chances at the end.
It depends how the road goes, I guess, but yeah.
I'll take my chances at the end.
Realistically, I know if you guys want to split up, you can, or you guys go stay in seasons. I know,
I don't want to split up.
Hey, Graham, let's bunk.
You said bunk, right?
Yeah.
No, she definitely said bunk.
Bunk.
No, Graham understood bunk.
We do be bunking though. All right, you actually want to stay in the room with Graham?
We're all gonna stay together. Right?
Yeah, we're not sleeping alone.
We're all staying in the same room?
Yes. We are once again taking turns.
All right, that very much works. Y'all can basically stay in. Realistically, Jay, you kind of ended up with the largest room because of your little.
I have the balcony. It's also furthest away from the tree.
Yeah.
It's a strategical room, I guess.
Alrighty, well, if we're all shacking up in the same room, that would be another day of rest. So, Margot, you can go ahead and heal yourself by one more again.
I'm finally starting to feel normal again.
You did unmark
only 2 more days.
Dying, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool.
Unstable.
Yeah, unstable, yeah. All right, so we're feeling mostly hot. When we say we're taking shifts, does that mean one of us is awake at all times and everyone else is sleeping?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We'll just go ahead and rip this Band-Aid off now. Margot, which shift is yours?
I'm an owl, so the first one.
Excellent. Alrighty. So, during your shift, Margot, there doesn't really seem to be anything of issue. You watch over your friends, Carson, Jay, and Graham. They're all doing fine. Some twitches and such. You're not sure if it's a nightmare or they're just getting comfortable. But after some time, everyone does indeed reach sleep. And then who would take over for Margot?
For the end of the shift?
At how late? Are you doing like a 2-man shift or a 3-man one?
We'll probably do 4-man shift just between everybody here. So, second person.
Because like Jay would probably not mind waking up in the middle of the night and staying up the entire morning and day.
Let's have Graham do next shift.
Okay. Then you wake Graham and he kind of like kung fu hands. I'm like, oh, who is it? Oh, Margot. Nice. Okay. And he gets up and yeah, y'all swap. And Margot, you head off to bed. And well, I can't narrate what Graham is doing because I am Graham, so he's watching over you guys, I guess. And Margot, you sleep. And would you, knowing your leg, obviously we got the cast and everything, would you be hesitant to sleep or do you actually commit to sleeping?
Margot gets sleep and whenever she can.
Fair enough. Alrighty, if you could go ahead. Let's see.
You still want to have those cuffs and chains to hang your leg so you can't scratch it?
I definitely want to make sure the leg's wrapped.
That's what we made the caster at least, so. Give Graham like instructions to if you see Margot scratch your leg, hit her with a club.
Yes.
Margot, you are indeed able to sleep. You toss the cast on your leg and you try to get in the best position possible. Graham, of course, is watching you more than anyone else because he's aware of the situation. So Margot, go ahead and roll me plus tough. Your plus tough and plus weird is the same, so doesn't matter which one you roll. A 10. Excellent. A good for you.
You don't get eaten.
Exactly. So, Margot, I'm going to do something unique for you. You can basically tell me, I'm going to describe your dream, and if you want to keep going, you let me know. After a certain...
You mean if I want to wake up because I get you scared?
Correct. If you want to wake up, you wake up. If you want to keep going, I'll have you roll stress. Sound good?
Okay.
All right. Because your first roll is indeed a success, in the night, you wake up, and you are surrounded by your 3 friends, Carson, Jay, and Graham. Graham must have had a long day because, well, he fell asleep. He was supposed to take over, and for some reason, he did not. You're currently in Jay's room, and of course, all the lights are off.
Oh, no.
What do you do? Something woke you. Maybe you got to pee or something. Who knows?
Is it me?
No, Margot.
No, okay, that's who I thought it was.
I'm thinking.
Melanie was taking a long time to think, and I was like, maybe I missed something.
I guess I'll get up and take a look around. I figure if I woke up, it's probably for a reason.
You begin to look around, and you feel a little groggy, but you're fine, mostly. As you look around, though, you hear a creaking, a door opening, slowly. And you notice it's the bathroom. It was closed before, but it slowly opens, and it seems very inviting.
I'll go take a look.
All right. You're able to walk on in. Of course, the lights are off, so you can't really see anything, but you still get that feeling of just sleep and tired. Your body feels heavy. And it's a bathroom. It's very similar to yours. Got the sink, got a big old mirror. Except, Jay's bathroom is slightly larger. He has 2 sinks, son of a bitch. Toilet, shower, everything is as it should be. You look in the mirror for a moment, though, and you think the lights are off, obviously. So as you walk in, you see maybe it was you. You reflected off another mirror, and then you saw your reflection of your reflection bounce off the mirror, and something kind of moved with you as you moved. Because, of course, as you stop moving, this other figure stops moving, because, of course, it did. But looking in the mirror, you don't think you see anything?
Did the mirror catch me as odd?
You're not sure. You could focus on it more if you wanted to.
I will focus more.
As you choose to focus more on the mirror, the lights are off, but some of the moonlight is pouring through the window and perfectly into the bathroom. The right side of your body is illuminated, and you can see yourself in the mirror. And you look pretty good, Margot. I mean, you just woke up from, a bit of a tossing and turning sleep, and you kind of had a limp over here, but your leg's fine. You kind of check yourself out, and I don't know. There's something beautiful about you. You know what I mean? And as you kind of check yourself out, that woozy, sleepy feeling is still kind of holding you. And you maybe shake your head a little to kind of wake yourself. But you figure maybe don't turn the light on. Maybe I don't know, in the moonlight, there's something about like your curves and just the way you look that is very appealing to you right now. And as you're sitting here, kind of, checking yourself out, what do? Do you kind of keep looking?
I'm trying to decide how Margot pictures herself. Give me a sec.
Sure.
I feel like suddenly finding myself attractive would strike me as very odd.
Okay.
Because I don't think she cares about her appearance.
Yeah, this is definitely weird. Why suddenly? I mean, shit, you just woke up. Your hair should be frizzy, but there's something about you that is just very appealing.
Can I reach for the light?
You do, but for some odd reason you feel, I don't know, you look better this way. If you want to continue, go ahead and roll me stress, and those will be plus cool. Keep it together.
Continue in what way?
If you want to either turn the light on or see more of this, because maybe, yeah, as you mentioned, you're starting to realize, I don't really care about my looks. Why am I feeling this way?
All right, I will continue.
Okay. Keep it together plus cool. Nice, you got a 12. All right, no issues whatsoever. As you reach out, I don't know, you decide that maybe flicking the light on isn't the best idea. There's something about the moonlight that just makes you look incredibly appealing. It's not your body, Margot. It's your face. And you feel as if you like were to lean into the mirror and look a bit closer. Maybe you could see why you're so beautiful. There's something about your face specifically that's just it's irresistible. It's your face, but you almost feel jealous of it. An odd sensation, to be sure.
I would like to wake up.
All right. As you begin to like shake yourself like this, like, are you thinking this isn't right? Why would I be thinking this?
Yes.
Yeah, this feels super out of character. It's wrong. There's something off here. And as you begin to wake up, that odd feeling that was surrounding you, you see before you feel these long, spindly fingers caressing along your cheeks, moving along your face to grab onto you, but before they can form a grip, you shake, and Graham's looking down at you, and he's holding you by the shoulders, and he's like, Margot!
What?
You were freaking out in your sleep. You were like mumbling to yourself, and you were going to scratch your leg. I had to slap you back, and you kind of whomped me one.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I dodged it. Like, I'm paying attention. I mean, I ain't doing anything else.
I will give him a very impressed look at dodging my punch.
And as he's like, yeah, you notice he was like rubbing his shoulder or his arm, so he probably didn't actually dodge the punch, but he stops rubbing it. Like, yeah, you know me. Like,
I like this guy.
You're good. You can go back to bed. I'm here to watch. Actually, shit, I think it's the next shift. Sorry I woke you up, but I guess the next person can watch after you.
No, that's fine. I was having a very weird dream.
Oh, good timing then.
Let's see. Do I want to go back to sleep?
Up to you. You were the first watch, so you got some sleep, but not very much.
Yeah, I'll try to conk that out.
All right, perfect. And then whoever would take over next is able to do so. And Margot, you have no other strange dreams. You're able to sleep soundly, and if you were to dream of something, you do not remember it. Carson, Jay, neither of you have odd dreams, and Graham is also free of said nightmare or anything of that variety. And while none of you have any nightmares or any visions in particular, you swear right before you nod off, you hear the faintest of scratching somewhere in the back of your mind.
Who?
All of you. And we'll go ahead and pause there.